Lucas Shirley Show, a.k.a. The Casting Couch. What's up, buddy? We got our boy Omar back on. We're doing 2 videos of him this week.
Yeah.
Because, why not, right?
I had to get my money, Gotta get those checks coming in. So.
You gotta get them. I don't know if you're getting them from me, but you'll get them,
Whoever's working in your business, I'll send you the address. Or the direct deposit?
No, you can just do me some favors.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good. Dude, so I gotta tell you this crazy story, bro.
Tell me. I'm listening.
So you know where Pearson Park is? Anyone around Turner, Shawnee knows where Pearson Park? You don't know where Pearson Park is? No. Okay, so if you go down county line, you go a little bit further down, right? I pull in, right, with my dog. And I go in there. I get out, and, same old thing, get my dog on the leash or whatever. And I shut the door, and there's this Kia sitting there.
Okay.
And it was waiting for me. I swear to God, it was like the guy was waiting for me, this Kia. Because the car was already turned on, and once I walked around my car, it was already like in drive. Pulls up next to me. I go, looks like he's trying to talk to me. Rolls down the window. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, hey, what's going on? This dude kind of looks like, he's the most normal white dude you could ever think of. He had a split between his teeth, hair a little raggedy like mine, like he just woke up.
But you don't know him?
But I don't know who the fuck this guy is. And he looks almost like, it looks like a narc dressed up as a stoner. Okay. Like, it looks like if someone, took a normal guy and was like, here, let's make him look like a stoner, mess his hair up, put a fucking shitty jacket on or something like a movie stoner, like Pineapple Express, right? Talks normal. Hey, man, I got a question. I was like, what's up, man? How do you feel about the legalization of marijuana in Kansas? I say, fuck yeah, why not? He goes, picks up a McDonald's bag, goes, got some nugs for you. And I grab it, and I'm like, thank you. Gives me the peace sign, drives off. I'm like, what the fuck? And in Pearson Park, if you know this, there's one side of the lake, and then the other side of the lake, or the pond or whatever, there's 2 parking lots. When I get this, I look over, and I see this car. Like, it's like one of those not Ford Focus, Ford Fusion or whatever, those fucking, they look like narc car. They look like a cop car. Or Explorer, yeah, it looks like a cop car, right? But, unmarked. And I'm like, did this dude just did I just get set up? Like, is there a fucking cop over there waiting for me? So I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, this guy's bullshit. There's nothing in here. I go over by my car. I open the bag. And I reach in it. And there's like a black fucking cylinder thing. I pick it up. And I'm like, oh, this is probably some dude grows his own weed. Like, doesn't get, it's probably some brown ditch weed. I click it open. And I don't know what the government has. But, dude, this shit was crystals. And smelled like fucking ganji. Smelled like the Afghanistan mountains, my guy. I was like, holy shit. But I was just fucking but the whole time I was like, should I fucking take it or should I go throw it away? Because there's like looks like a cop car across the road, so I was freaking out. But yeah, long story short, this guy gave me weed, and I really think that it could possibly be like, it could be like, how they gave crack to people in the 80s?
Okay, do you think they're doing that now?
Dude, what if that's the government? Because that was good. That was some good stuff. You know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck?
I'd rather have it be weed than crack, though.
Well, I would too, but I threw it away and shit, but, I just was confused. It just, shit like that always happens to me. It was just a weird fucking, I just had to tell you, it was a weird fucking story.
I've never had anything like that happen, but, how do you feel, I always hear people who smoke, I have no issue with smoking or whatever. I personally don't do it myself.
I don't anymore.
I know people who do, but, do you feel like you can be addicted to it? Because I always hear that thing is like, oh, it's just weed, you can't get addicted to it, this and that, but...
I think you can get addicted to anything.
Yeah. Okay.
I think addiction isn't like obviously there's stuff that you actually could there's actual stuff. Like, there's chemicals, or I don't know. I could just be bullshitting, but like, you think of like heroin, like you're most likely gonna get addicted. That's what they say, right?
Nicotine.
Nicotine is like supposedly more addicted than heroin, which I personally believe.
Yeah, I just think it's because it's so like accessible in a way, where it's like cigarette. Like you can just go to the store and buy a cigarette. And people are more.
So I would say, dude, I think it's just on the person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think you could get addicted because I know people who just all they do is smoke. Well, I don't anymore. I kind of got those people out of my life. But the people who all they do is smoke, don't have a job, are just worthless. Like they need it. Like they always need it for shit. It's like, well, and then people who just smoke. I know a lot of people who just smoke and they hide. Not saying they hide it really well. They just don't let that be part of their personality. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't even tell that they smoked. You'd just be like, yeah, I smoke, but I fucking have a great job. I work at an office.
Yeah.
Or I'm a whatever.
I think if you use it recreationally or whatever, like you're just chilling, and it's not like you have to. I think anything that you have to do at a certain time of day that is like part of your schedule is like an addiction or whatever. Like where you need to do something. Like even if like I've been trying to go to the gym a lot more. So it's like I wouldn't really say I have an addiction towards it because it's not always my favorite. I wouldn't say, but it's not like my favorite thing to do all the time. Like some days I'm like super hyped to go to the gym, and then some days I'm just like, I just got to get in the gym just because I know it's to make myself better. Where some people with like I guess weed or whatever it could be, they're just like, I'm gonna go off work and like that's the first thing they're like looking forward to do.
It just depends if it controls your life or not. I think that's what it is. Cause like I think when you think about it, there's no I guess there is addictive personalities. Like you can get really addicted to something, but when you really think about it, you can't really kick an addiction. You can only replace it with something else.
Yeah, and that's true. There's just better options, in my opinion.
Right, because it's like you can be addicted to fucking Coke, and then you're like, fuck, I'm fucking always on Coke, and then you go to rehab or whatever, so you just become sober. But I guarantee you, a lot of people who did Coke, they're probably doing something else. Like either that is working out, that's their addiction to Coke, or they're maybe drinking a fuck ton of caffeine. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or
dude, caffeine's insane. So many people don't like that's another like addiction that I don't think many people like realize that they have. Like where they just always. I try like I have my times where I'm like drink like I like bangs, dude. Those shits are fire. But I have to limit myself, man, because I know that I could like drink one of those every single day and just
not be good for you.
Yeah, just because I know it's.
I do. I used to drink coffee, but I haven't been spending a lot of money lately, so I've been drinking the coffee here, and it's very weak. So I drink like, and it's like this is not. I drink 2 things of coffee, and then I go to work and I get like a rain, and I'm like, woo!
You're fucking hype.
Like today, I had 2 things of coffee, and then I had a Red Bull, sugar-free Red Bull. Yeah. Like I'm very addicted to caffeine, but thing is, I enjoy coffee because I used to when I was at JCC, I drank 6 cups of coffee a day, and when I was working at Target.
Black or like sugar and everything? Or?
No, I don't. I drink it black.
Black. Okay, that's better than. Dude, I hate the Starbucks shit. Like it always gives me a headache. I always drink it, and it just those the mochas, the frappes.
It does. Dude, I went one time, and I swear to God, I don't know what shit tastes like, but you can smell shit. Swear to God, it tasted like water and shit. And I was like, bro, you fucking with me?
I think they taste good, but it's like after I finish one, like even the smallest one, I'm a taller dude. I'm bigger than like most of the girls drinking Starbucks, and they drink it like religiously, And and I'll drink one. I'm like hyped for 30 minutes, and then I just fucking crash.
It's the sugar. Yes. Because if you drink a black coffee, you'll be.
I like black coffee. Yeah.
Well, you'll be. Here's the thing. It's a weird thing I've seen with it because I've experimented with tons of energy just drinks. Okay. Coffee lasts a very long time. Yeah. If it's good coffee. Okay. Black, mate, you might put some sweetener or some cream in it. Usually that, for some reason, to me, dyes it down a little bit. Yeah. But if you drink it black, it's going to last you because it's just water. I think it, probably gets in your system quicker or whatever. Now, you drink like a Red Bull or a Monster, dude, it's only going to be like 40 minutes.
Yeah, an hour if you're lucky.
Even if it's a sugar-free, it's going to be like 30 minutes. Because I don't know what the fuck's with those. It's just like crazy energy for like an hour and then you're done.
I don't crash as hard with energy drinks as I do with, I don't know. I think it's because...
Well, you're drinking Bang.
Yeah.
And that's what I got to say about Bang. I worked at a gym, and I would drink 2 of those a day, and sometimes more than that.
Uh-huh.
And I would be so, like, it's almost like I was on Adderall. Like, I was so inner focused. And I know they took an ingredient out of it, because working at the gym, people would come in and take it out, and, like, we'd have to do a regulation on it or whatever, because they restored it. They took something out of Bangs.
Okay.
Or did a recall or whatever. But Bangs and Reigns, I've noticed, I don't know what the fuck's in those, but they're like coffee in the fact they last for like 6 hours.
It fucking tastes like battery acid. It's so awesome.
Yeah, it's so awesome. It's like meth. It's like
you
meth.
take a sip and you just feel everything go like, holy shit.
Yeah. It's like when Fast and Furious, when they hit the nitrous, you see it going through.
Dude, that shit's fire. I just gotta limit myself on those, because one, like, they're not the cheapest drink. They're like $3.
$2.89, yeah.
For a can.
I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, and if you get the 2 for whatever, is it like 2 for
4?
Yeah, Quick Trip or whatever. If you go there.
Yeah, it's not really a better deal. You're still getting, you're still getting fucked. You're still spending $4 extra.
When I work a lot, that's what I tend to get. Like in the morning, try to get a Bang or something, and it's 0 calories too. So it's like, fuck it, I'll drink this shit.
Right. You're like, it's good for you. 0 calories.
I know.
Meanwhile, my heart is.
Yeah, that shit's funny. But do you take pre-workout when you work out, or are you just like?
Yeah, but not all the time. Like if I drink too much energy, because I just told you how much I drank, right? If I drink too much during the day, I'm just adding on to my stress on my heart of drinking pre-workout. Like I should probably not drink, but sometimes I do, and it's like crazy. It's just a casual thing. If I didn't have that many energy drinks, what I really like is drinking. There's the Celsius stuff. Okay. Those only have like 35 milligrams.
Like electrolytes and Celsius. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The tiny cans, right?
Yeah, they're 0, but they're always up top. No one ever buys them.
Okay.
And they're cheap.
Yeah.
I think they're
I've
cheaper.
seen those.
Yeah, well, they actually give you a good, like, it feels more natural, and it's probably not, but it feels more natural when you drink it, because it doesn't make you ramped up. It's just a little jolt of energy that'll last you a while.
Like where you kind of just sip on it, kind of?
Yeah, kind of. You sip on it. That's exactly the way. Kind of like coffee. And maybe that's why coffee lasts. I was unloading the other day, and there's this stuff called World's Dangerous Coffee. It was called Death Wish.
Shit.
And I was like, I kind of want to get this stuff.
Yeah. My uncle gave me some coffee. Like, I was at his house, and he's like, you want some coffee? I forgot what it was. It was like some gun label company or something. It was pretty
Black
awesome.
Rifle?
Black Rifle. That shit was good as hell. Black, like, I don't know.
Navy SEALs made it. Yeah, 2 Navy SEALs made it.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
They're pretty funny, yeah. Is it good? I've never tried it.
I'm not, like, a picky eater, so, like, anything that's edible or drinkable or whatever, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. But that's, I mean,
do you think it tastes like normal coffee, or is it
kind of? I mean, I don't know. I don't drink coffee enough to know it was good. I mean, I drank it. I was like, yeah, that's pretty good, and it kept me up for a good amount of time, so I was chilling. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not the pickiest eater. It's like, for me, it's like something's crap or something's like, yeah, I'm gonna eat that, and then obviously there's stuff where I'm like, oh, I just love it, but I don't know. Just never really been a picky eater where it's like, oh no, I don't eat this. Like some people, it's like onions and other stuff like that. But for me, I don't know.
I'm not either, so I don't know. But I'm with you on like the sugar thing. If I have too much sugar,
too much sugar is where I crash.
Makes you crash, but it also makes you feel like asshole. Like,
oh yeah.
And I have a sweet tooth, but I'd rather eat donuts than drink a fucking.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know what? I was thinking when you said that, I was like, dude, you notice chicks, like they go hard. Like they go hard in the paint. Like, dude, every party I go to, it's always chicks that are like, I'm gonna get the most wasted, and they drink more than that, and then they end up fucking passing out because they're half our size, and they fucking pass out, and they probably did drink more than everyone, but they're just or they do more drugs or more anything than anybody, then they just fucking.
I think it's just because it stands out more. Just because like if smaller girls or even a smaller dude does it, then they're just gonna obviously.
That is true.
Hit the limit first,
right?
Compared to like a 400, 300 pound dude, you know.
Yeah, but I feel like those people always like big guys. They'll drink a lot, but they're like pretty like.
But it's so hard just because isn't like blood alcohol content? It's just how much alcohol is in your system, correct? So it's like if you're smaller, you're just gonna get drunk way faster. Even if
Right, yeah.
I don't know.
No, you're right. You're going to get drunk way faster if you're smaller. But I'm saying chicks in general, like, they speed up the process.
They got some other issues going on, man. They're trying to...
They got some daddy issues. They're trying to drink away. They're trying to just drink away, have an excuse to do this, you know? Dude, I went to this party one time. And while I'm saying this, I did not do any of this shit. You know what I mean? I came in, and it's always a fat chick. That's another thing. Here's another thing, is fat chicks, I've noticed at parties, they want the most attention, so they can have one beer, and they'll be, like, fucked up. And I'm like, bitch, you weigh as much as me. You shouldn't be fucked up. You know what I mean? This chick was just falling over, and her friends are helping her. She was throwing up. So I left, and I went to go get my boy. And I got him, and we came back to the party, and my buddy opens the door, and this is just at a house. I knew whose house it was, but it was a New Year's party. I'm walking in, I'm like 16, 17, and my friend goes, hey, look, kicks open the door, and this fat chick, like her titties hanging out, she's just like this, with foam coming out of her mouth. I was like, whoa, she dead? Like, oh no, she's fine, and they closed the door. I was like, bro, is someone gonna help her? I thought she was dead, dude. I'm pretty sure she was like snorting oxys and stuff, like, and I watched her like before I left. She was like doing more than everyone, and I was like, Jesus Christ, bitch.
See, I've never like really been in that, I guess, situation. I don't necessarily go out to parties and stuff like that.
I don't either, but this was early on, you know.
I don't think I ever went to like a crazy party or whatever. It would have been cool to go to, but it's just, I don't know. I don't really vibe with that stuff just because I've seen shit go down. But,
yes.
I mean, it would be cool to see. I understand. But with me, it's like everything in like limitation and shit. I don't understand the like getting absolutely drunk out of your mind type stuff. But that's just me. Like, I understand it's probably fun as hell, especially if with your boys or something, and like you're in a relaxed spot where it doesn't matter.
That's the difference. It depends, right? Because if I'm with my boys, it's like, okay, we can get drunk and have a great time. But you don't want to do that every time. You know, sometimes you want to drink, sometimes you want to chill out. And then there's times, you do want to get wasted, but I don't want to get wasted every week. And there's some people who want to get wasted like multiple times a week, and I'm like, dude, like, do you do anything else, you know? But I get you on that. Like, every now and then I like when I went to Mexico, like, I was in Mexico, so I was like,
but that's like vacation. You're like trying to have fun. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's different. But when you're here and you going out, like, I don't know, I guess this counts. My brother's bachelor party. We went down to Westport, had a great time. Like, stuff like that every now and then is fun. Yeah. But I get what you mean. Like, if you do it too much, or if I don't know. I'm more of a, I like to chill with my boys.
I got you.
And drink. I don't really like to go to parties where people I don't know. Like, that shit sometimes is fun, but I will say most of the times I've gone to parties, like you said, something always fucking happens wrong, and it's like I just don't want to be around that, you know? It makes a good story, but it's...
Well, yeah, every time I hear about it, it's just like people puking, people passing out and shit like that. Right. Whereas if you're with your people, I get it's like fun and it's memories and all that, but then at the same time, it's just one of those things where it's like, I wouldn't want to wake up the next day and be like, I don't want to do anything today. Right. Like, I have no energy and shit like that. Yeah. But that might just be because I've never done it, though, you know? Right. I guess I can't hate on it too much if I haven't got shit-faced.
It's not that fun. I don't think it's that fun. Like, I think it's, like I said, I would rather get drunk with my boys and have a great night than to go out to a party of people I don't know. I have to worry about someone fucking getting stabbed, someone getting shot,
fighting, like, God damn it, you're just fucking with them again.
It's like, dude, you know, and I've had parties where it's like, it was a really great time and people I didn't know, and I'm a social butterfly, so I enjoyed it, but I'm gonna be honest, dude, those parties, I wasn't drunk. Yeah. Like, I've actually had some of the best times. Maybe I had one or two beers. I went to this party, and when I walked in, I thought, like, I was kind of getting mean mugged. I was the only white dude there. I was like, God damn it. But, I don't know. It was like, this has happened to me like a million times, but this is the first time I got mean mugged, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, great. But then I started playing beer pong, and I whooped everyone's ass in beer pong. And then everyone became my friend. It was the greatest time. And even this dude went down like this and went like that to the cup, and it was the last cup, and I fucking yammed it in his face, and then, dude, he even came over and gave me respect. I was like, I am the god, El Chapo. Like, I felt great, dude.
That's awesome, man. See, social shit like that I can see, or like you're watching a game, stuff like that I get.
It's different. It's different. Versus going out and drinking so much that you just not having a good time, and you're just like you said, throwing up, and then you know you're going to have a fucking hangover the next day and feel like shit. It's like, god damn it, you know.
Every weekend.
I don't get, dude, I really don't get people who do that all the time. I don't get it. Like,
different priorities, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, in some people know how to party and still, like, work really hard. Yeah. But, like, those people are on a different level, and I'm not one of those people, man. Like, I'm more of a, let's just hang out and chill, you know what I mean? I'm dropping shit, man.
He's drunk right now.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah, if you could get drunk, and I know a few people like that where they get drunk, they can still, like, whatever time they gotta wake up and do whatever, shit like that.
Right.
And they can still control, but that's the difference, is, like, they don't let the alcohol, like, control their life, or the weed, or whatever they're doing, like, control their life.
Right.
They still have this outside motivation where they're like, okay, we still gotta get shit done. It's like when you're doing nothing, and then, like, that's the only thing you're doing, where it's like, you don't have anything, like, you can't work on something. Yeah. I feel like so many people lack,
just
like,
sleeping throughout the day and then partying the next night.
Goals and shit like that. Like, I think so many people don't realize how much they could accomplish, but it's just the fact that shit's hard. So as soon as it gets hard, it's like, is it even worth it? You know what I'm saying? And that's where people kind of get, like, turned away because it doesn't go right the first time they do something. Or, like, I bet you've had so many issues on this podcast where it's like, it's just easier to quit, you know? That's honestly the thing. Like, when I go to the gym, sometimes, like, in my bed, I'm like, oh, I do not want to fucking go to the gym right now. And I don't go every time. Like, I'm not perfect. Like, sometimes I stay home, and I'm like, just because that's the easier option is, like, not to go. But then once you kind of get that routine started, that's what I've been trying to work on, just getting a routine going and being more consistent. And, bro, that makes shit so much easier. Just, like, you know what time to do shit. So it's like if I go to the gym before class instead of after class, it frees up so much more of my day. Because then I don't have to worry about everything. And I'm not doing anything at 8 a.m.
You feel better, too, don't you, when you work out in the morning, huh?
Yeah, I like working out, though, because it's, like, something that you can push yourself and, like, you can steadily, maybe not every week, but you can see consistent growth.
What kind of workouts are you doing?
I've been doing just the basic bench, squat, and kind of just heavier lifts like that. I do one of those majors. I haven't messed with deadlifts because we don't really have the setup for it at my gym that much. And I just don't want to fuck myself up with, like, deadlifts. I know if you do it incorrectly that you can mess it up. So I'm waiting for one of my...
Get one of those belts.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
And start light. Just...
Been trying to do squats. I want to do squats more. Like, I want to do squats every day in the morning just to get me moving. As in
just body weight squats or maybe at a dumbbell or something? Or, like...
No, like squat, like actually like barbell squats, and I like not even necessarily go heavy. It's just, you know, it's this misconception of you can't do this muscle every day. You can't do this. It's like, dude, I know so many dudes, and part of it is genetics who do that every day, and well, you stress it enough, it's gonna get bigger. Right?
Well, it's just like everybody's like, oh, chest day every day. Like you can definitely, if you did that same energy towards legs, like just think if there's an alternate universe where people are like, bro, bigger legs are awesome. Everybody would be hitting legs 4 days a week.
I swear to God, it used to never be like that, but my bad.
You're good. Not your first time using legs. So.
Yeah. Oh, no. Every time I go to the gym now, everyone's doing legs, and I'm like, what the? Did just enough guys with chicken legs get made fun of, and I was like, why did I jump on this train right when everyone else did? But yeah, I want to do that because just to get you moving, man. And legs like are very makes your whole body makes your whole body dense, makes your testosterone go up. Yeah. Like, dude, when we would when I was with Max, my trainer, like we would have to bench. We'd bench a lot, you know. Yeah. We did full body a lot in general.
But your legs are just bigger, dude. Like no matter what, you walk on your legs almost all day. They're fucking bigger than your chest. Like, it's the biggest muscle in your body. So it's like...
you stress it a lot, right? You stress it a lot, so it's like it takes time to develop because it's hard to make something grow when you're constantly... It's like you need more work because you walk on it all day. Like you just said, you walk on it all day. But we would hit fucking leg... It's a secret. And I'm telling the world. We would hit leg press like crazy. Yeah. And I swear to God, if you do this, if you have a max you want to do, hit the leg press, either heavy or light, doesn't matter. Just fucking go crazy. Get as many reps as you can. Then right away, go to bench press and do it. I promise you, you'll get it. Okay. I swear to God, it's
get your blood moving or something, or
well, yeah, and it's just like we said, makes you it makes you your legs are like what 50% of your testosterone. Makes your testosterone goes up. Yeah, gives you warmed up. Almost like there's a statistic that says if you go sprint and then go lift, you'll be stronger because you're ramping up everything. Your blood's going, testosterone's going, everything's going up. So apply that. You're doing leg press, same thing. I mean, not really, but yeah, it is the same thing. You're working your legs. Yeah. You work your legs, you go do something, dude. I promise it'll push you harder. Dude, I've showed people this a million times, and it works every time. And it's not a mental thing. I thought it was a mental thing, but then when I don't tell people what I'm doing, and I watch them lift, they still lift heavier. And I'm like, dude, it's not a mental thing. It gets them, Maybe it is in the sense it gets you ramped up.
It's one of those, it's not necessarily a mental, I know what you're saying. I think it's one of those things where it's a little mental because you're just ramping up. That's just your body doing that. Right, yes. But you're not, thinking of it in that way. I know what you're saying, though. Right. But in a way, you're, getting hyped up, which is more mental in a way. Because sometimes you're, at least for me, when I was trying to get my bench up, the hardest part was just being shocked when you pick up that max weight and you're like, holy shit, this is heavy as fuck. Mm-hmm. You're like, yeah, this is heavy as shit. I think last time I maxed, I did on Smith machine. I went with my boys. They were at Planet Fitness, and I hit 225 on there, which is
Did you hit it?
Yeah, I hit it. I went two weeks ago is when I hit it. 3 weeks ago we went, and me and my guy Colin, we both were in the same spot. We got it down, we got it up, and then we got stuck halfway through the rep, and we couldn't get it up. So then when I got there, I was like, dude, next time I'm getting hype as fuck. I'm gonna work on it a little bit.
You know what's good? Gym. You know what's a good little secret for that? There's a million secrets that I've gotten to do that, and I won't share it on here fully, because it's kind of obvious secrets. It's just a workout routine, but something to get if you're gonna max out that day, if you take, if you're already to the bench, you did your workout, now you're to the bench, right? I would definitely do triceps, and then I'd do, real heavy, short, heavy, presses with a dumbbell to get the blood going. That will always help. But this is, even better. So you said 225, right? Yeah. You take 315. Take it off. Just squeeze. Yeah. Either hold it or squeeze and do just short ones, and then do that. Keep going back and forth, maybe with leg press and bench. Keep doing that. Do that for 5, 6 sets, as many sets as you can. I'm not, and don't bring it down. Just hold it, and maybe do some literally just do this. Just do some short pump up the blood in there, and rack it, and keep racking it, unracking it, rack it, unrack it. Get you used to holding that heavy ass weight. Then go down to 225. When you lift that 225 up, boy, I tell you, it feels light. Because you've just been holding that weight. Yeah. So when you pick up the 225, it's like, oh shit, that was light as fuck. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's what I was trying to do. So I went heavier on. So I hit when I missed it the first week, and then I knew I was gonna go back. I put in just floor press. And I just did heavy, dumbbells, super heavy, single arm.
What, did you bring them all the way down?
I was bringing them down, but it made it more me used to that, overload peak, yeah. Where I was like, this is heavy, but you're just going to, I was doing, 5 reps or something where it's, not necessarily my 8 to 10 range that I've been working at, but I'll definitely give that a shot.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and see, the problem with that is it's not a problem. It's in the long run that's going to help you, right? Because first off, you're spreading out your chest. You're getting yourself a little more flexible. In the long run, that's great to do. But if you're going to do that, don't expect to go because you're wearing and tearing. And so don't expect, and when you do try to max out.
No, I wasn't doing that when I was maxing out. I was doing that like the couple days after.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Preparing, like getting ready for the weight, because
that makes sense because you're stretching out and stuff.
Because that's what fucks me up is like when you pick something up and like I think that's. I mean, you can even apply that to live. Just like when you pick it up, it's like you know if you're hitting it or not. Like it's in your brain more so where it's like
100%.
You're like, oh, this shit's light as fuck. I'm about to hit this, or. That's how I felt the second week. And the first week, I was like, holy shit, this is heavy. Like, I don't know if I can get this.
Yeah.
And I didn't. But then the second week when I was hype as hell, had my music up, I know what song I was playing. I went down there, I repped it. And Smith Machine's easier, obviously. You just go, but, I mean, I've been trying to max out on regular bench. My gym has a regular bench.
Yeah.
But I was just up there with them trying to see it, so.
This one guy... and it was so weird because I got detached from lifting for a while, and I used to think like this when I lifted with my trainer because I was so comfortable with him, and it gave me confidence. So when I would go and lift, I would just be like, I know I'm going to get this. Mm-hmm. And you know. You know what I mean? You're like, I wasn't cocky. I wasn't like, let's go! No. I just sat down silent, pissed off, like looked like I was pissed off, and I just knew. In my mind, I was like, I'm getting this. Yeah. Like, real calm. You have to hit it. Like, I'm getting this. And I said, I was like, you put that switch on, and your brain goes, I know I'm getting this. And sure as shit, every time I get it, somewhere down the line, I lost that. I remember this dude, this short Mexican dude, buff as hell, I work out with at the gym sometimes, Jose goes, hey man, like, basically, like, I know you're trying to get shit back, but you're not doing it like how you used to do it. You're not doing it the right way. You're being cocky. He's like, he's like, you're being cocky right now. You're not. You're like, you need to be confident. You know you can get this. And when he said that, that switch turned back on. I remember how I was when I used to bench a lot. I was like, oh, how did I not? How did I forget that? I was like, how did I forget that? You took switch? That out, and it's. I took it out from all the years of not doing what I was supposed to do, from taking the time off. I was like, oh shit, he brought me back. And so, like, that's the bet. Like, if you get under anything, you get under. If you look at the weight and just know in your mind, I'm getting this. Don't boast about it. Don't be loud. Just, I know I'm getting this, and just get it. Like it, dude. It was crazy. It was like one of the most crazy. And that's the crazy thing, though. That like applies to life in general too. It's like if you got shit on you, like busy as hell. You got schoolwork, schoolwork, job. Family, everything, and you're just like, I can't fucking do this, man. Like, you're not gonna do it. That's just how it is. Right. But if you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna find a way. Right. And there's people like that where they're just like, fuck it, I'll find a way. I don't know how to do it, but I'm gonna. Right. You're just gonna get through this shit. And it's when people stop and they just like become comfortable. That's when shit gets bad. And that's what fuels me. Is like, I think it fuels me a little too much because like I'm just never comfortable. I'm just like, I'm not always grinding because I have my days. I'm human. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I need to do all this shit, and like it stresses me out sometimes. And I know that's an issue because it's everything in moderation. So it's like if you think about it too much, then that's bad too. You know, you can go on. No, my bad, dude. That's why I had you. When we did the first one, and I had you, we stopped, and I was like, oh, I gotta have him on again. Like I gotta have him on like this week because I like. It really popped in my brain, like, dude, your brain works very unusually, and I mean that like in a really good way. Like, I don't take offense. I mean that like your brain works. Like I was thinking about it too, and I was like, he has such an interesting way of thinking and attacking things. Cause dude, I've had class with you, and I know thing. I think about people a lot, so I was like, this dude, he thinks. Like, I've seen you work on shit until you get it. See, you know what I mean? But that's the issue with me is, like, see, I'm wired that way. So, like, I want other people to be wired that way. Right. So it fucks me up. Like, I can be a decent teacher, I feel like, but I just have to, like, step back, like, relax. Because, like, I get frustrated. Or, like, when I help somebody and they just kind of get mad the way I teach them, just because it's not the way. Like, not everybody's compatible in like a teaching way and like a learning. Not way. Everyone's teachable, for sure. Or not even that. Just like I'm not the correct person to teach them. Just the way I teach is like the way like I grew up. It's like no one's gonna tell you. You just gotta figure that shit out. Figure it out yourself. And like you can ask for help, but I mean I came from like a single mom, so I just had to
like.
You gotta kind of do.
Yeah.
Were you the oldest?
No, I'm the youngest.
You're the young. Me too. Fuck yeah, that's why we get along. Single mom, youngest. That's crazy.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, I mean, I don't have it like. It's weird shit growing up where you don't really have someone to talk to. Where it's like, I mean, I had my brother, but we just weren't like we didn't click like that where we talk about personal shit going on like that. Like we're close. I love him to death. Love my sister to death too. But it's just one of those things where I was just a little more zoned off from that. And it's hard to ask your mom that if your mom's working 2 jobs
yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yes.
And that's kind of, I mean, I appreciate that in a way because I think it gives me a better view on life.
It gives you a good work ethic too, seeing your mom. Like, usually, I feel like some kids see their dad work. Like, I was like, as a like us, it's like, I saw my mom have 2 or 3 jobs, like, grinding her fucking ass off. Like, that's incredible to you as a kid.
It's crazy. It fucking sucked though, because I just remember like growing up. Luckily, we had my grandparents, and we lived with them, so that was awesome.
Dude,
I don't know.
This is wild.
Yeah.
Like, not same, but I had my grandparents. Like, I lived basically with my grandparents.
Yeah, same.
They helped us out so much.
Basically my parents.
Yeah.
In a way, which is sad. It took me a while to like rearrange my thinking of it because I just felt. I didn't really feel connection with my mom just because, like, I mean, I love her to death now, and I know differently now because I'm grown up. But just when I was younger, it's just like, okay, who's feeding me? Who's like picking me up, taking me places? My grandma, yeah, like my grandparents and stuff. And like my mom just wasn't in the picture in the sense of like taking me places, like being at my games.
Right, you
like
saw
that.
her after dinner at night, right?
If that, because she would have a morning job, and then she would have a break between like the time I would get like right before I got home from school, because like with elementary school you get home a little later, like 3-4 o'clock, and then she would be at her next job like before then. So I wouldn't even see her sometimes just because she would get off at like 9 or 10 from her second job, and I'm already in bed. And by the time I wake up for school, she might make us breakfast, but she's already at work. Right. And then so when she's off from work, we're still at school. So I saw her weekend and shit.
That's wild.
But it's just one of those things.
And weekends you want to go be a kid. So
you're outside and doing shit, and she has her own problems to deal with now that she has free time. But it took me a while just to like realize the connection. Like, she's not choosing to not be there. She had to. Like, there's just no other choice. And like, I respect her. Like, I could never repay her for anything. So that was awesome. And just having that motivation and kind of mindset where it's like, okay, well, you just got to figure shit out. Because, like, she can't be here and babysit you to
Well, it made you, right?
Yeah,
that's good.
It made me an adult probably younger than I should have been.
Right.
But
that's good.
It's, it's all right. It worked out fine.
Well, also, I feel like that's kind of mature of you, too, to be like, because, I know some people very resentment of their parents. And I'm like, and I'm not saying if anyone needs to be resentment of their parents, it would be me, but I've mentioned on the podcast before, like, many million times of my fucking childhood problems, so I won't go over it, but like, there's so many things that I didn't forgive my mom for, and my dad, because my dad was never, he was always doing his thing, and but then you get older, you're like, what? Why would I blame? Just fucking let it go.
There's more shit.
Yeah, there's more shit to worry about. You can't bitch about it now. That's so crazy. It was so crazy. I had this job and remember this 2 bosses, right? One boss was bitching about I was bitching about the other boss. She's like, well, like, I found out how she was raised, and I think that has a lot to do with. I was like, okay, maybe. But guess what? You're growing up now. Like, that shit. Like,
I had shit too. Like,
I had shit too. Like, trust me, I should be a fucking asshole. Like, I should be a fucking asshole right now. But I'm not. Why? Because I know that doesn't work in real life. Like, I don't know how else to. I was like, I get it. She might have had strict parents and made her a fucking bitch, right? I was like, my stepdad used to kick my fucking ass all the time. I should be like the fucking shaved head bully, fucking picking up nerds.
That's
and
the
shit.
one part where it's like, once it becomes like physical abuse and like mental abuse, then I understand like some part of that. Not necessarily like being an asshole and shit. I just hate people who are assholes in general.
Right.
But like, maybe like a little more shy, awkward, introverted people. I feel for them. Like, if they had like some shit in their past.
I still feel for them, but it doesn't make an excuse to be like lazy, an asshole, or anything else.
Yeah.
Like you said, and don't get me wrong, you were blessed in a bad way. You were blessed to be like no one's gonna do it for you. You got to do it, and you stepped up to the plate and fucking hit the home run and did it, which is why you think the way you think. But some people, they just don't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's where they complain. They're like statistically,
blame
I
everything on everyone else.
Yeah, they're like, why didn't it have a dad? Like because I could easily just play the card where it's like, well, I don't have a dad. I don't do this. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm so disadvantaged. Like, I understand that, but. Like, are you guys just gonna pay me now? Like, if I do that, no, nobody's gonna pay my bills just because I say that, you know, and complain. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. Like, I can either complain or I can just do something about it, and then just like be able to take care of my mom when I'm older, and like hopefully I can do it before she's like too worn out. Because I mean, I don't think it's good for people to have to work 2 jobs and shit like that. If it's like a choice, that's different. But if it's like you have to, especially when you don't have a college degree, like my mom, barely passed high school. And just grinding her way through life, like that's the one thing I want to do.
Mental stress, and physical.
And I don't even think she has the time to stress. And that's the issue that like I see is like she's just fucking working so much. She's like, I just have to take care of these kids and like make sure. Now that we're older, we can like. She was only working 1 job, and like that felt like a really big relief to me. Like, okay, like.
Well, it's good you're concerned about her. Like, like chill out, like. And I know people's moms are like that. That they work super. I mean, my mom's the same way, but she doesn't have. She got a good deal where she got a big raise, and when I was a kid, she didn't have that raise. So like it was kind of so she got.
And she doesn't have to worry about like you as much anymore.
No, and she doesn't have to worry about getting another job because like she makes really good money now.
That's good.
Whereas when I was a kid, it was like she went to
and you can see
one
that
job,
I bet
another
too,
job
like
to another job.
Like she's more relaxed or something, I bet. And
yeah, for sure.
That's good. Yeah, that's how I felt with my mom when she had to stop working. It's just like you can just feel it, where it's like okay. So now I see her a lot more, and it's a bit hard because just that emotional connection isn't as strong. But I don't hold anything against her. I'm not like mad at her in any way like that. I wasn't necessarily mad at her when I was younger. It was just one of those things where it's like. You're playing a baseball game, and like everybody's dad and mom is there. It just like it takes a second for you to understand what's kind of going on. But then it's one of those things where it's like I kind of just had a badass mom, you know. She's
That's cool.
That's kind of the way I see it. So
that's awesome.
It's good, but I was blessed in the way that I don't think a lot of people would look at it. But I never really knew my dad because he left when I was like super young than I could remember, which I feel like is way better. Than having, I'm not sure your situation, but then like having a connection and then just like losing him in a way where it's like you don't know like where's dad. But since I grew up with just not knowing that, I think that was like a bit better because who knows how I would have like reacted or felt. So that's the one thing I can't connect with people who like lose a dad that just like leaves because I never had that connection, so there wasn't anything to be lost. So.
Yeah, I don't have that because I love my dad, so I have nothing bad to say about him. Regardless if we had a strong connection when I was a kid or not, like I don't have anything bad to say about him. He's a good dad.
Not necessarily like bad, but just like sense of like law, like you know, like you miss somebody.
I have that same kind of mentality with like. My parents like divorced because they divorced when I was like 1 or 2. Yeah. So I was like, when you see kids like their parents get a divorce when they're like 10, they're all been out of shape about it. When I was a kid, I was like, dude, if my parents were together, I'd fucking kill myself. Yeah. Like, there's no way.
It'd probably be worse.
Yeah, it would have been way worse if my parents were together. Like, there's no way. And that's cool because they're cool with each other now. But I was like, there's no way that there's zero chance.
I know a few parents who are like, they can still get along, like just for like the kids' sake.
Same, yeah. When I was a kid, it wasn't like that, but now it's like that. A lot of things changed in the past 2 years. It's really weird since I graduated high school. But that is awesome that like you look at it like that. Like I got a badass mom, and I think some of that mentality like goes into you, man. Oh yeah. Because like I'm being serious. Like I don't know if you understand like the way I look at like the outside in. Like that's why I stopped. I don't know how weird I was acting, but I was like, dude, I have to have him on again because I enjoy talking with you. I enjoy hearing how your brain is put together and works. Because like I said, I've seen you in action. Like, I've seen you be like, oh, wait, no, work this out, do this and do that, you know? And I don't know. I think that shit's incredible because I try my best to like you said earlier, like you want a routine, right? That's
Yeah.
like the best thing to have is a routine. Well, me, I am such a unplanned free person.
Same.
If it's in my fucking face, I'll do it. If it's not, I'm not gonna do it. But and I don't plan anything, right? I don't like really planning. It's just kind of fucking winging it, whatever. I love doing that.
Same.
I'm good at it. I've practiced it enough. But when I have a problem with sticking to a routine, like kind of not really. Like I will work out every day. It just doesn't. It might not be at 3. It might not be at 5. Right?
When you feel it.
When I
you can
feel
work
it,
in.
yeah, for sure. So that's that. And that's how I work. But like you said, the best thing is to be like in a routine and be consistent. Like to stay like this podcast. I put so much into it, and it's kind of hard to be in a routine. Like, well, it's not, but you know, with you're basically depending on other people's schedules, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's really important to stay, like, not even just in a routine, but stay consistent with shit. And that's, like, the most cliche thing to say, but, like, it's not obvious for a lot of people. Like, people will pick it up, be like, this is, like you said, this is this is, like, what you're talking about. This is fucking hard. I'll do it later. No! Like, you want to do this, get through it. Deal with the bullshit, because everything you got to do is you got to deal with the bullshit, man. Like, when I had YouTubers on and this fucking thing crashed, I was livid. I wasn't even mad. I was just so fucking like,
Next one.
like really. But you know what? At the same time, I was like, you know what? This is just a kick in the nuts. You got to get back up and fucking like, life's gonna nothing hits you harder than life, so you just got to fucking deal with it. Like. It's just your podcast, man. There's going to be more to come. So, like, I know people that not do podcasts, but do stuff like this. And the minute it gets, like, a little bit difficult, they just fucking stop.
Yeah, or they're not getting the views they need. Or
yeah, it's like, it will come if you keep grind. You got to grind. Like, you got to grind for it. You can't just,
That's what also, like, keeps me going is, like, the what if. Because you never know. Like, if you stop, like, say after this post, you stop, it gets, like, 10 views, and you're like, fuck, what am I doing? I could spend 2 hours doing something else. But your next video, it just pops off.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have known. You wouldn't, because you
know.
quit. Like, I think some people just sell themselves short, and, like, so many people have so many great ideas. I think everybody can apply something to life.
Right.
And be helpful in a way. But they just don't want to put in that. Yeah, they just don't want to put in that work. Which is fine. I mean, there's, like, employer mentality and then employee mentality, which you have to have a balance. Like, that's what life is. It's just all balances. Because not everybody can be their own boss. Just because then you have nobody working for you.
Right.
You know? So it's tough. Go on.
Well, I was going to say, like, well, there's people with the employee mentality, and even the people who have the employee, like, okay, I like being told what to do because I like to work. But there's some people like to still, like, they're great employees. They like to get shit done, and most of the time they'll become a manager or something.
Yeah,
right?
and that's totally fine. I think that's cool if they're working towards a goal.
Right.
I mean, there needs to be employees. Like I run a business too. I need employees, and I care for them. The difference is like if you're working for like a shit boss or something, and it's like how can you work for someone who doesn't give a fuck about you? And that's when I was working at Quick Trip. I could tell I was like they don't fucking care about me. Like I don't like I'm not helping build anything good. Where it's like. You feel good when you go home. Like, fucking I did this or something. Like, that's dope or whatever, you know?
Right.
And that's the one nice thing about lawn care is, like, after you mow a yard or whatever, you're like, I made this yard look as good as I could. And you're figuring out different ways to make time, spend less time at a yard. So it's like every week you go there, you're trying to figure out the fastest way to do it. And people who help me, I'm grateful for them, whether that be, like, the clients or, like, my helpers, like my friends. They're all awesome. Like I think I was saying this like last episode or whatever, where I hate when people don't give respect where respect is due. Like all my friends who have helped me, I wouldn't be in the position I am today without them. Just because I know that they gave up a ton too for me to be there, and for people to say like, "Oh, I did this on my own," I think that shit's just bullshit. I don't know. There's definitely people who help you along the road.
Yeah, remember when Palmer? He kind of beat that into us. I remember one year. He's like. When we made the thank you videos or whatever, I don't know if you remember that. I do, and I remember he was like, dude, if you think that you got here by yourself, like, you fucking didn't.
Yeah.
And it's so true. He's like, and I know you guys are young, so you may not understand it, but like, you're gonna thank someone. But when you get older, you do see that. You see a lot of people with that mentality of like, oh, I did this all by my own. I was like, dude, what the no, bro. You have people. I have people editing this shit. I have people helping me out. I have fucking the people who come on here. I'm just using that example. Like, where would I be without them? Like, who agrees to come on here, or who the people who actually watch it? You know what I mean? It's like, you gotta pay respect. You gave me this fucking mic. Like, I'm not. I would thank you forever for this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna. Like, it's just fucking. I don't know. It's just a lot of those guys I feel like don't go far. You know, because they don't have like that. And maybe they will. And then a lot of times they're usually at a. It's usually those bosses that are dicks.
But then they don't last long. They don't. You can't last long with that mentality.
They don't because they end up stuck. Yeah. They end up stuck in that position.
And then they need help, and then it's like you already burned all your bridges. Like fuck you. Like if you're like, I don't know, you're like, oh, I did this shit on my own, and like everybody who helped you, everybody who was like guest earlier, and it's like, fuck Luke. Like I was there when I helped him. I remember helping him, and like all this other shit, you know.
Yeah.
Those people just don't tend to go far because once you burn all your bridges, there's not much place to go. You have to pay your way out.
I'm fucking white, but I'm cold.
You're cold?
Bitch. I know my European blood mad at me. My Euros.
They're yelling at you right
They're
now.
like, you fucking pussy, but I'm so fucking, dude, I get cold so easy. Yeah. You're right, man. And, but you're right, those bosses get stuck and they burn. That's another thing is I see people burning bridges, man. Just like, sometimes you do want to burn a bridge. Like, there's a lot of people that don't like
bad energy, whatever.
But like, dude, I always try to keep as much open as I can. And not even just to benefit me, to maybe I can benefit them, or maybe it will benefit me, or it's just not a good idea to be just saying fuck you to everyone because at the end you get this shit into the stick. It might help you in the long run, or it may help you like right now, but I don't know, man. There's just some people that like they do sketch shit behind people's back, and then they always wonder why. Like I know someone like that wonders why. Why does no one want to hang out with me, talk to me? I'm like, well, motherfucker, you quit stealing, or you quit doing this. Like, they're gonna people will actually hang out with you. But you know what?
You have a name for yourself.
Like, you have a name for yourself now. Like, you're fucked. Like,
people talk.
People talk. Unless you fucking go somewhere else, and then guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna do that shit again, and then no one's gonna like you there.
Are you excited for that when you move? Like a fresh start? Or is that how you're seeing it, or like? No, cause I'm me. I don't care. I'm more just excited. I guess I take that back. I'm more excited as my as being on my own. So I guess I can look at that as a fresh start. Okay.
Hey, Mamaw. No, you're fine. It's my sweet Mamaw. No, I'm more looking at it as more of a. I guess, fresh start, but it's more of like, hey, I get this freedom, you know what I mean? I don't have to always, call people for help or whatever. Like, I have my own space. Figure stuff out. It's more of like a time to grow up a little more, be a man, I guess, and so to speak. Did it kick in or did it turn off? Oh, yeah, there it is.
You get a little toasty?
Oh, dude, I need to make a fireplace in here and just light it. Just fucking. That's not good, but
make some s'mores, dude.
Make some s'mores.
Dude, I could eat so many s'mores, man.
Dude, I have not eaten sugar. I have not eaten sugar, alcohol, nicotine, or pornography all week. I have not done any of that all week.
It's Monday.
It's Monday. No, I told myself, I was like, not till Sunday, not till the Chiefs play. Once the clock strikes 12, you can go fucking purge. You can purge yourself to death, whatever you want to do.
It's funny.
But I think it's good to kick addictions that really distract you.
Distract, yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier. It's so funny. She's so cool. I remember one time she took me to the doctors. Yeah, like I said, my grandma just came in, but she it's like your grandma. Like basically she raised me. She took me to the doctors all the time. One time I was like 15 and I was like sexually. They're like, "Are you sexually active?" And I looked at my grandma, looked at him, and I was like, "No." And he walks out. She's like, "Yeah, like you're gonna say it in front of me." I was like, "Damn, like what was he thinking?" You know what I mean? Sidetrack, but
funny.
no. To answer your question, I guess yes, it is a fresh start, like a new life, but not a fresh start in as I'm a new person.
Yeah.
Like people.
I guess
say
you're not really
that.
running from anything here, or like not necessarily running, but
Kinda,
like
but
not that you know of yet.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But like people like you here for the most. Like at least I
Right.
don't know personally, but I feel like you're a very likable guy.
Yeah.
So it's not like your parents hate you and this and that you're like getting away from
I'm
that.
not trying to get away from anything. I'm just trying to. It's
Grow.
something I have. If I don't do it now, I'm gonna be mad in 10 years that I didn't do it. You know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you feel like fuck it. What's the worst? Like the worst that happens is you come back.
That's literally the worst that happens, or I get killed, or something like that,
That might be
or
good.
raped. Like, but it might be a good story for the podcast. So why worry about it, right? But it's more so like people say because I've had like people will be like, I'm gonna move, get a fresh start of who I am. I don't want to say. I mean, I'm trying to figure myself out, like work on myself as a person, but I'm gonna do that regardless of wherever I am, right?
This just exaggerates, kind of fast forwards it a bit.
Right. Well, and this leaving is more me, basically. Like I said, basically like, hey, I'm working on this podcast. I'm continuing this. It's just I guess
you more like locked in.
Locked in, yes. I want to be
Gotcha.
more locked in as well. That's dude. Like I don't know.
Makes it more serious in a way. Like you're like fuck it.
Well, it's kind of like becoming a man, man. You gotta fucking go out. You gotta do it. You gotta do the shit. And I see this plot in Austin too. Like since 2017, celebrities and comedy has been just popping there.
Yeah.
But not as much as like LA or New York because it's LA or New York. COVID hit. LA and New York aren't popping anymore. People are fucking, especially LA. People are like, fuck this place.
Dude, I saw like 5 YouTube videos at least of like big YouTubers just like, I'm leaving LA. Like,
yeah.
everybody was making the videos. Las Vegas is popping now too and shit.
And I've never said, when I was a kid maybe, but I've never been like, I want to go to LA.
Yeah.
That just sounds too cliche. And for people, because I know people who've done that, and to them, hats off. They have the balls. Like Dakota and Bartlett, Josh. Like they did that, and hats off to them. That's awesome. I think that's incredible.
I didn't know Josh moved. I know.
I think they might have moved back. They might have moved.
Dakota got some voice gigs. I know that. That was pretty awesome. He's awesome with that shit.
He's great. He's a great actor, and so is Josh. Man, he's funny.
Yeah, Josh is a funny dude.
And the thing is, though, is like those two. They have balls. That is balls. I don't have the balls to go do that. Not saying that I want to pursue a comedy career. I want to pursue this podcast mainly.
First, you gotta be funny.
Yeah, first I gotta be funny, right? But the thing though is, I never wanted to go to LA because I was like, man, I don't want to. And I know it's like partly being a pussy, but I was like, I don't want to be dead broke, paying fucking up the ass in taxes.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like I don't want to be in a shitty apartment with other people. Like I want to be comfortable but grind. Yeah. And Austin, like Texas,
that's
is
the place to do it.
The place to do it. And I was like, dude, why? Like it's just kind of like you said, why make it harder on yourself? I was like, dude, and pandemic was perfect. It fucking literally has jolted a lot of people to Austin. And I'm like, dude, if I want to fucking like get big in what I want to do, I gotta go. I want to go do it. If another thing is, my dad, he left when he was like 19 to go to California, 1920, to be a bodybuilder. He did it. He did pro bodybuilding shows, and I mean, he came back because he realized, like, I don't know how long he was there, a year or 2 or 3 years, something like that. He enjoyed being there, but at the same time, he realized, he's like, man, I miss my family. I didn't want to fucking, he even got in a movie and stuff, like, as an extra.
That's dope.
And he's like, I loved it, but at the same time, it's like I realize I could probably just do it here in Kansas.
Yeah, that's tough. It's like doing shit and then not having your family and shit.
Yeah.
Like the people who like care the most about it.
That's my biggest fear. Is like I won't. It's like I gotta make new friends, kinda, and I'm really like. I can make friends easy.
You're sociable though. Like I mean, it's gonna be tough because you're gonna lose the years of like bonds and stuff. Not necessarily lose them because you can still talk to them. And Texas is what? How far is it?
Like 10 hours.
Is it? Oh, is it pretty low? Austin, pretty low.
I don't know. I think it's still. I think like
It's
getting to
just the drive
Texas
there.
is 10 hours and
I've never
8
drove
hours. I don't know. But yeah, I am social, and I have no problem. I will make friends my whole life. That's what I wanted. This is the whole part of this is just me. I love people, man.
Yeah.
But I still like in terms of like how I am with like my friends. Like I don't. It's good.
You know
It's
how you guys
trust
act.
issues. Yeah,
Yeah.
trust issues. It's not even that. It's like what the fuck? Why is my whatever missing?
Yeah.
Why is my fucking pocket pussy missing? John, I just met you last week. Where the fuck's my pocket pussy, dude? What'd you do with it? I
That's a
don't have a
big
pocket
issue.
pussy, by the way. I'm just,
He has 2.
I had 3. No, but like, like if you lose $20, you're gonna be like, dude, am I hanging out with the right people? Yeah. That's one word of advice that my dad gave me. He's like, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. One reason why I got fucked when I went to California is because I let the wrong people in. He's like, be around successful people. Like, be around people working on their dreams. Don't be around people who are like negative and not doing shit and partying. Like that's not gonna get you anywhere. And I was like, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that
partying.
advice.
That's what it will get you.
Yeah, well, and that's I don't think that happened to him because my dad's really not like that. I think he just probably let the wrong people in. Is basically what he was saying, which it happens. And so he was like, dude, just be around the right people. And I was like, you know what, you're right. You're right. And he's like, I know you got a good sense of that.
It's crazy.
So.
There's just some people that give off like crazy energy. Oh, bad vibes, but like also like I don't know. Just some people are just cranked in a different gear.
Yeah.
That like if you say I'm like
I was about to say I think
dude,
you're like that.
I mean, just like you in the gym, I bet you get hype as fuck and just like that energy. Like me in the gym, like I'm trying to work on it. Like I like pushing weight, doing all that pushing weight. Like I'm selling, but I like lifting heavy and doing all that stuff, but I know I don't have the energy the same as like compared to other people who like go there. Because me, it's just like at the end of the day too, it's like more of a health thing. But I like lifting weight and like trying to be like seeing what my friends are at. Not necessarily ego lifting, but like just making it more competition.
Make it more competition. Yeah, making it more well, and that's the thing is like there's love for certain things, and then there's things that I do, and I'm like, do I have as much love as that as the other person, And like with lifting, I lost it a little bit, and I think I'm getting it back a little bit more. But there's certain things that I try and do, and even if you're good, like you're still working on it. Maybe you don't. There's just things that like some people are just born with the lifted bug or the whatever. Like technology, for example, I work on it, but I'm fucking, I'm like,
what the fuck's going on?
What the fuck's going on?
How's that been like going back in the gym? Like, is that like hard? Like
No.
not necessarily hard, but like mentally, like, you're not doing the same weight.
When I was I've never cared too much about that, and I think that's important. Sometimes not really. I mean, when I see a video of me like fucking going crazy, I'm like, God, I wish I could do that again.
Make you work harder.
Well, it makes me work harder, yeah, for sure.
That's good.
But it's never because like I used to work out and then be like, I gotta go to the gym again, and then go work out my trainer, then I go to the gym again.
See, that's an addiction too, though.
Right, but I also, and there's no excuse, but I also had like way more shit. I had nothing else to worry about in high school. Like,
that's true.
You know what I mean? That's all you focus. That's all I focused on. That and getting pussy is all I focused on. So now it's like, well, I've gotten enough pussy. I need to focus on my podcast. Yeah. I've lifted enough weight. I just need to get fit.
Yeah.
So, I have found, especially with a great workout partner, I have found, shout out to Marshall, I have found a better love for it again, and I'm fucking going ham again. But I would say, I guess the hardest part is like, I don't care about the weight. I care about that feeling I had. That's the main thing, the addiction feeling. When you're like, I need to work out more. I need to work out more. I need to get better. I need to get better. When you have that, that's a different energy, and you see guys like that. See, even I don't think I have that anymore. Like, I have it a little bit, still there, but I don't have it like I used to, and that's the one thing that really fucking sticks in my craw and bothers me, which also pushes me, but, like, it's more so of, like, I don't give a fuck if I lift this amount of weight. I just wish that I still would be like, I want to keep going, be here for 4 hours, like, fuck it.
But you got shit to do now, man.
That's the biggest problem. You got shit to do. And
like, at the end of the day, it's just not realistic. Like, if the gym is not paying you to, like, pay everything.
Well, if I was a personal trainer or something like, or a
if it's
bodybuilder,
paying the bills, then it's like, okay, like of course you're going to be there 8 hours a day because that's your fucking job.
Right.
So it's a lot easier to be in the gym all day if that's your job.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, since it's not your job and you got other shit to do, if you're in the gym for 4 hours and you need to, like, that's the one thing. That's why I like the routine because it holds me more accountable. It's not like I'm not planning out necessarily my whole day, but it's like go to the gym in the morning before class, whatever time that is, and then go to class, and then you have the rest of the day now.
There you go.
And then like the rest of the day is like what I want to do. It's like if I want to DoorDash, if I want to go mow, if I want to go chill with my girl, go do homework, play video games, like I could choose that.
Masturbate.
Yeah. 10 times a day. I could do that.
Real quick. I could do that. I got it done. Yeah. I think that's perfect, man. And I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that, but I mean you're right. It's just it's a good thing to have that routine and that consistency.
Yeah.
I love going in the morning and getting me ramped up and ready to go. The other morning, another thing is I've been training the person who edits these videos, so it's been helping me get up, and I enjoy getting up. I don't know. One thing I really would rather have more than anything, and I do have it with this podcast. I grind with this podcast, but I want better production. That's all I think about every day, and I'm like, but I gotta pay this, and I gotta pay this, and I gotta pay this. So it's like, yeah, it's tough. But I also like it because it makes you better. Like it's just an obstacle that I gotta get through.
Yeah.
It's whether if I fold.
It's not free. It's not just like, hey mom, can you just buy me this?
Oh yeah, no.
Hey dad.
Trust me, I tried for Christmas. It's like, hey, this camera is pretty good. You know, you just not buy anything else. Just this
Dude,
camera.
I pull those all the time.
Oh
It's
no,
like, I tell my whole
not
family in the
that.
group. We have a group chat, and I was like, if all of you pitch in, it's pretty cheap, you know. And like, I mean, I don't care if I like end up. It's not gonna make or break me. At the end of the day, you know, my family's all healthy, so that's like cool. But I'm like, fuck it. Like, it's worth the shot if they do it. And then they ended up giving me other stuff too, which is totally fine. I don't care, you know.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, Mom. I didn't want this goddamn T-shirt. I wanted a camera. I didn't want 10 T-shirts. If you would have took those 10 T-shirts you got me, fucking put them in a bag, got them back, we could go get the camera right now. That's all I'm saying. We could go get it right now. That's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah, but it's kind of nice though when you end up like grinding for that piece of equipment.
When it's yours, it's better. When you grind for it, it's better, dude. It's just like teaching yourself.
It's like finding free money, dude. Like stimulus checks and all that. People got free money, and they just obviously. I know it's for the economy, but the way I think, like saving money, I didn't have that money. I'm not gonna fucking spend it. But I'm crazy with like money. Like the way if you think I'm crazy, like how I talk, like the way I think with money, dude. I'm like, it's bad.
I don't think it's crazy how you think. I don't think it's crazy how you talk. It's how you. It's great. I love it, dude. It's who you are, and it's always drawn me towards you. You know what I mean? Not sexually, but sometimes sexually. You might be. I don't know yet. I gotta figure that out. But but no, it's more how you think, man. Yeah. And then obviously that interprets of how you talk, but it's more how you think. It's like it's unusual, but it's good, man. It's like you want to stay. I like being unusual. You know what I mean? I like thinking because I think different.
Yeah, you do.
In a weird way. A little slow, yeah, a little slow.
Mess with you.
I think a little different than others. But I don't know, dude. I think it's incredible. What were we talking about before that?
Like I was kind of talking more about like how do you see money? Like how do you personally see it? Like
I think it as a tool. I think it's the best way to look at it, and that's more of not how I've obviously looked at videos on like teaching myself how to save, teaching myself. I think everyone looks at money differently, and I've had this conversation with everyone. I think race, class, how you're raised, everything, dude. I think everyone looks at money so differently. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's incredible. Like, and I had this conversation with a couple people. Women, men, totally different view on money. You know what I mean?
In a way. I mean, it just depends.
You think? I think.
Yeah, I don't think there's any necessarily label to put on it because like categorizing everybody because I mean there's like women bosses who probably like have shit ton of money than us.
100%.
And then
right, I get what you mean.
Like there's probably like Mexicans like me who like they just spend every dollar they get, and then there's like Mexicans who save every dollar they get.
I hear Mexicans save all the fucking time. That's what I hear.
I mean, I know,
real
but if you see, that might be like older people who are like moving in, who like they're setting up their family and stuff like that. But I bet if you like text all the like Hispanic people on your phone right now, like how much money do you have in the bank right now? Like there's difference in like saving, like because some people think they save because they have like $200 in their bank, which is like props to you if like that's what you grinded hard to get. Like I'm not trying to like belittle your dreams or like your goals and stuff like that. But I forgot what the percentage is of how many people in the United States could afford a random $1,000 like bill they had to pay right now.
Most people just fucking spend.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but the other thing is like it's not even just about that. Like, generation.
Yeah.
Like look at old people versus young people. They
My
definitely
gets
look
on
at
me every single time I come home with food.
right. They look at, and that's the way they were set it. Millennials, like I'm talking everybody, and that also means as an individual, think of money differently because everyone was raised differently.
Yeah.
That's my point. So I'm not grouping it in like, oh, just these people and these people. So if I have to say that personally, the way I look at money, I just have to I want to look at it as a tool.
Yeah.
You know, you're not like whatever you do, money's just gonna help you a little bit better. It's not gonna buy my happiness, but hey, if I want to go to fucking Florida,
you don't think it will?
I mean that it will make me happy, but it will. I'm not saying that I don't know how to put it. So I would be happy. I mean, you're gonna be happy with more money, but what I'm trying to say more is like
that's kind of the way I see it. Is like it buys happiness.
You think it buys? I don't think it buys like pure happiness, but I think
not necessarily like I'm gonna spend I have $200. I can change that in for happiness, but it's like if your dream is to like boost this podcast production,
right? Money is gonna make me more happy. Come on, let's be real here. Let's be real. No, it's hard for me to explain it. I mean it more as like I could be a dumbass with $1 million and blow it up my nose with coke and fucking
lose it within a year,
with hookers and have just and party every day and have a shitty. Because you know why? I had that fun because I used it as a tool to help me. Make me happy, but really, if I use that $1 million to pump into this podcast, and then I end up being like the #1 podcast,
and then pumping it into like an income source,
an income source, and I'm like, oh yes, this is making me way happier. I used it as a tool. You see what I mean?
It's making you money too, in a way. Like obviously, it doesn't matter, but like
I think it buys. It's a tool. It's a tool towards happiness. I don't want to say it's like
happiness in the way where you can like actually like the way I think you're saying it is like you can have something to look at in a way.
Right.
Like you instead of like partying and shit where it's like it kind of happens within a night and it's like over. If you build a podcast, you kind of have that podcast.
Right.
And it stays with you unless you sell it or whatever.
Well, see, that's the thing. Okay, let's do another analogy. If I was a millionaire. But I was a millionaire because I don't know. I had a boss, and I had an office job. I went to college, got a stupid job I didn't want to get, but maybe I was good at whatever, computers or something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I became a millionaire off of it, but I still have a boss. I'm still fucking miserable. That's what I'm saying is like, yeah, I might be rich. I can take vacations, but I hate waking up and going to work every day. Now, if I'm a millionaire because of this podcast, oh shit, like that's awesome. You know, you get what I'm saying?
See, the only rebuttal I would have to that is if that person who is working that office job, if he was grinding for that million. You see what I'm saying? Like he's
if you're grinding, it's obviously your intent.
So he's fuck, I hate this job, but he's like, if I just stay here long enough, I can kind of just get set and I can do whatever the fuck I want after that. You know, kind of deal.
Yeah, for sure. But I get exactly what you mean. But I'm saying like if that's my job for life and I bought a big house and I know we're just fucking spitballing here, but like now I have to constantly work at this thing instead of invest my money. You know, obviously if you're a millionaire, you're probably able to quit that job and do something else. But like I said,
it feels awesome to come from a podcast that you like grew. And,
that's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying. The satisfaction.
Exactly. So it's more like, what if everyone wanted you to become a fucking doctor, and you really didn't want to become a doctor?
But you did it just to satisfy.
I'm sure there's a bunch of fucking Indian kids that came over and their dad made them a fucking doctor, and they're like, "Fuck this! I don't want to be a doctor." It's like, you're gonna be doctor, and then
they could be doing something like, say, best actor or something, like everybody would love him, but people just.
And now makes what, $500,000 a year being probably more than that being a doctor, but he's not happy. That's my point with money. So but he can still go on classifications and shit, So it's a weird thing to look. I think it buys happiness to an extent. That's why I keep it as money's a tool for your happiness. It's not gonna you know what I mean? If that makes sense. But I get what you mean. If you're like, this sucks now, gotta grind. Like, I love this, but like the bullshit that comes with me, fixing, promoting, the problems and shit that I have, that sucks. But I have the same thing. I tell myself, Also, though, to go with what you're saying is if you don't love it that much, you probably won't do it. You know?
Or you'll get fired, replaced.
Yeah, or you just won't have motivation.
Happiness is weird, dude. I think about that a lot. And
I'd rather be happy than anything else.
And I think that's what everybody's goal is at the end of the day. Yeah. It's everybody wants to be happy. I've never heard, I tell people this, and I've never heard one, or one rebuttal that's canceled that idea. Because the reason you work out, or the reason you do this podcast, it may not necessarily be for the money. It's going to be for, just being able to say, I fucking did this.
Right.
And, everybody who believed in me, thank you. We did this, and it was great. And that'd make you happy. And, people who drink, the reason they're drinking is because it makes them forget about their problems, and they can be happy.
Right.
They're with their friends. That shit makes them happy.
Right.
But then the sad thing is when happiness relies on something, then it's when you're not doing that, you're miserable. Or you're just trying to find something to make you happy. You're finding your next fix for happiness. Okay, I'm at the gym, that makes me happy. I'm gonna go eat food, that shit makes me happy. Everything we do is because it makes us happy. We wouldn't do anything because it makes us sad in a way.
Well, yeah, and that's a good thing about money is you can't if you're saving correctly, you get fired. Well, if anyone gets fired, that's gonna end your happiness right there. But that's a cool thing about money is if you always have it, it's well, I'm always happy. Now, if someone came and robbed me, then but if you have it in a bank, you're not gonna get robbed.
But it's just how we get numbed to numbers. I was telling you one time, earlier, where it's just once you get, say, $10,000 or something, $10,000 is now a lot smaller since you've obtained it than it used to be.
Now you want 20,000.
Now you want 20,000, 40,000, 80,000, and numbers just keep going, and we'll never be satisfied as humans.
Right.
And I don't think anybody, because if we were satisfied as humans, we wouldn't build all this shit, keep coming out with iPhones, because people are why do we need a new iPhone?
Right.
I'm cool with this. People always want more, and either they want more or they want to be better than someone. So we'll never be satisfied. I don't think we'll ever be happy.
Right.
I don't think we'll ever be truly happy where you can just not do anything and you'll be happy.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing. But also, when you do stuff, it makes you happy. You know, grinding makes me happy. I choose, people who don't do shit and are lazy and don't have, and this isn't toward, people who don't have a lot of money, but people who it's their fault why they don't have anything, right? They're not grinding. They're not happy because they're not putting effort. When I go,
maybe they're happy doing nothing though.
I don't think so. You think so?
Well, it makes them happy enough because maybe a job is stressful for them. I don't think anybody does anything with intent for sadness in a way. You know what I'm saying?
I think so, but I also think it's more of
because it's easier just not to get a job and not worry about that.
Yeah, but those guys' lives are shit. They're usually miserable. They usually hate their life.
Yeah, but they're choosing. I guess not everybody has the option, but I think that their life is pretty bad too, because we're used to having other shit.
Right.
For the most part.
But what I'm saying is they're not grinding. They're lazy and they have a shitty job or whatever. But I think it's just it makes them. They're not a happy. They're not I highly. If you're not working out, you're eating like shit. You're not working. You're most likely not going to be happy. You know what I mean?
But eating like shit and laying in bed might. Dude, they might be fucking happy with that. They don't like being outside. There's people like that. It's fucking weird because we're not like that. Right. But there's definitely people out there who dude, if I'm inside being outside stresses me out. Like extremely introverted people who like seeing other people just makes them anxious.
That's that common though. You think it's that common? Like,
I think people have issues where it's just like they're too stressed to be outside. I think really? But there's times.
You know people like this?
I've seen people who are like they get anxious like just being around people, like it just stresses them out just because shit that has happened to them and stuff like that.
Well, I know that, but they could be fucking doing some grinding on the side. You know what I mean? They could be doing.
No,
something.
I understand that, and we have a motivate. Like everybody kind of has that motivation to do stuff.
I guess you're right. Maybe some people just generally, and I know people who are lazy and they like being lazy, and and sometimes they are fat. Like I know a guy who's fat and lazy, but he makes good money for what he does. It's a lazy job, but it makes good money. So, and he seems pretty happy, right? So I get that, but he still like had to think of a process to get to the job. You know what I mean?
What you're saying.
Think smarter, not harder, to get to the job. So I guess I get what you mean. I guess you're right. I just don't. I think for the most part, if someone's not, especially if someone's complaining,
if someone's not happy and then they start grinding, that is to make them happy.
Right.
Do you see? So like once that grind starts, it's weird because it's somewhere in our life that we start. How do I put it into words?
We're like for a monkey like me.
No, but like because when we're kids, dude, we're fucking happy like all the time.
Don't give a fuck. Yeah.
We're playing with sticks, having the like blast of our life. If we went out and played sticks, I'd be bored and like fucking.
I'd
you know,
time.
playing in the mud. We got other shit to deal with. So somewhere between like that age, dude, our like default is sadness, and we're trying to find shit to make us happy.
Yeah.
Rather than like we're just happy like at a constant. So it's like I don't know what happens, but I mean at least for me that's the way I feel in a way. Like I'm always like trying to be happy in a way. Like I'm trying to like not necessarily like I'm depressed or anything. Like I have felt that way before, but it's just more so like we're doing shit to make us happy, and that can last for a long time.
Right.
But I don't think happiness in itself is obtainable because then that would cause us to be satisfied with our spot that we are in, and we just as humans cannot possibly be satisfied.
Yeah, well, it's also like if you were happy all the time, you wouldn't be happy. Like you have to have shitty days to make bag. You know, right? Which is cliche, but well, what you said about like being kids, like you're happy all the time, and then somewhere down the line, it's like, well, fuck. Don't you think that's more of like just the responsibility because you get older?
Probably.
You have more responsibility. It stresses you out. You're a kid. It's like, well, I just gotta piss and shit and eat my fucking.
But there's also
veggies.
times where it's like, I mean, what the fuck are half these like stresses that we have? Like you could forget about half the shit and like.
Yeah, you make your own stress. You do. That is true.
But you could forget about half the shit and nothing would happen.
That kind of proves your point about the lazy people. They don't make their own stress. They're like, I'm not fucking stressed, dude.
There's nothing to be stressed about.
You're stressed
like, you got a job. You gotta worry about.
Well, and that's but dude, that's almost like the employee mentality, right? It's like I go to work 6 hours a day. I come home, drink beer,
and that's
watch
good
Family
for people.
Guy.
People who like love a routine like that, that's good for them.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I hope they're happy. Like,
I hope they are too. I guess you're right. Yeah. I guess I'm not happy that way because I was doing that and I was like, fuck this. I'm bored. I have too much energy. I gotta. That's another thing. Maybe those people have like significantly less energy. You ever think of that?
In a way, or they just like the stability in a sense of it. A lot of that changed though with COVID though, because people are like they realize the job could care less.
Yeah, 100%. But what I'm saying more is like, for us, like you and I, like I can't just sit down every day and like do that, right? Mm-hmm. And that I get what you're saying now. It's kind of clicking more like, okay, this makes me happy. I'm fucking fat. I go to work. Fucking shitty, easy ass job.
Come home, food
come
table.
Home. I know in Europe they only work 5 or 6 hours a day, and they fucking simple. They drink and like good beer and go say hi to their neighbor. Happy life, right? And that's good for them. But and more what I'm talking about the people who complain and really do have it bad because they, you know what I mean, they're complaining.
They're putting themselves in that same hole.
It's like, don't complain. Like, that guy, like, this guy is happy. Like, because I kind of had the same argument with Nate when he was on about fat shaming. He said, what if some people like being fat? I said, well, like, I have a big uncle. He eats all the time. He's a very energetic dude. He doesn't give a fuck, you know what I mean? That's different. But if you're my boy and you're sitting here complaining to me about being fat, I'm gonna fucking fat shame you so you can get up off your ass and do something, you know?
I mean, yeah. No, I agree. There's, like, if you're complaining about something and you're the cause of the problem, that's when the issue
That's
is.
kind of where I was.
But if it's like
if you don't,
they're cool with being that way, like okay, like you know the consequences, like you know that you have a higher chance of dying due to like being obese, which is like an issue that people have just come to accept. I don't think people should necessarily like just come at someone. Like I think that's such a low blow. Like if you're trying to be funny and like the easiest thing you can do is just like look off someone's appearance. Like come on, bro, dig deeper. Like make something make a funnier joke than like, oh, look at this fucking fat kid or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta be better. You gotta be good at it. But you gotta be good. Like Talbot's fucked up eye. I'm great at making fun of his eye. And anyone else does it, they suck because it's so easy to do.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow.
That's why I get creative. I'm like, I can't just attack his eye. I gotta fucking find a way.
In his brain, like something like mental, like not like something on the.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, something like that takes more skill in a way. Because then those are the funny.
Yeah,
jokes,
those are the ones with skill are funnier.
Like,
but,
oh, a fat joke, okay, like cool. Like,
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I also like to spin on that. I like taking something that seems easy, and it's like, but you gotta make it skillful. Because if I just said, "Oh, you're fat," that's like so easy. Wow, but if I say, it's so hard to find something else. Like if I take that, but apply it to something else and make it more of a complicated joke, like that's what I love taking the easy shit and making it like actually skill. Because like I know a million people have already done it, but like it's cool if I stand it. It's kind of like rap in a way. Like everyone talks about pussy, money, weed, but like who's the best at saying it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or just like the because if you say a joke that a dude has like never heard or like something funny about him, then he's like, how the fuck you know that?
Yeah,
like,
how the fuck you know that?
Like in a way, or like you catch him
I
off
notice
guard.
those things too.
He's like, what are you gonna do? Make fun of my weight or something, or like whatever it is, like something obvious. Like I have a huge nose, so people like if they make fun of my nose, like okay, cool. Like I've heard that before, or shit like that.
Making fun of your stutter, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, it's like, does anyone know that you stutter? Like, yeah. But
yeah.
Well, I do know what you mean about like you shouldn't attack someone who's just like if they're happy and they're cool, don't worry.
They know
like,
the consequences.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
But like how you were saying, like if someone's complaining and they're the cause of their issues,
and they're usually shitty ass people too.
Dude, it's so annoying. I'm like your manager and shit. Like when you were talking earlier about their stuff personally, like I hate when people say that. It's because like I got shit too. You have shit too. Everybody wants to have the bigger problem.
Right.
That's what people want.
They do. They love.
And there's no way to do that because everybody's issues affect them differently. So it's like it doesn't weigh the same in a way. Right. So it's like, okay, I have my personal issues, and my personal issues could be like someone died in my family, and what you're pissed about is like your fucking cat died or something. Like I lost a parent, but like I'm not complaining, and you're here like complaining. And I understand that people are affected differently through issues, but you can't compare problems because everybody always wants to have the bigger problem. They're like, oh, well, this hurts me more, and like, I'm like, just go about your day.
Yeah,
like
people do that. They want to be more damaged. It like appears better. I'm more damaged than you. You know what? My dad beat me. Yeah, well, my dad raped me. Well, my dad did this.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, dude, okay, we're just gonna keep fucking digging. Like, it's a weird thing. Dude, I think part of it is though because when you do find someone who had a super shitty ass life, they usually don't talk about it, and they usually have the most character. Like they're usually probably funny as fuck or really good at something, or most of the time they're funny. Like I've noticed that people who have the shittiest background, like not like they struggle the most.
Well, it's because they've actually like struggled.
Yeah,
they actually know. Like,
they're funnier than shit, and they don't talk about it.
Yeah,
you know, and that the people are jealous of that person when they figure it. Like, I don't know if they'd say but they're jealous because they know that that's a big character, and people want that character.
See, and that's the thing that also comes with it is like when you're at the fucking bottom, what do you have to lose?
Right.
You know, like
so you could say like, well, fuck you, bitch. Yeah,
fuck you, fuck it. Like I'm gonna do this. Like,
yeah,
I'm already like, there's nothing worse that can happen, and that's the issue with like people who get content with like being first place is like when you're in first, it's harder to see goals in a way because like say you're running a race, you're not trying to catch up to someone. I mean, you're trying to win in a way, but if you're in second place and you can see that person in first place, like, you can see where he is. Like, oh, I'm gonna fucking catch up to this kid. When you're in first place, leading shit, who do you look to? Like, you can't see anybody, and that's kind of a an issue. It's like you want to be first place, but then when you're first place, it's hard to.
It's kind of a good problem to have.
Yeah,
It's. I was just gonna mention that,
keeps
like,
you hungry.
well, if you are rich, and so this is weird. You know Jordan Belfort, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was talking about, like, dude, the richer you got, the more dirtier, nastier shit you would do because you've already done everything. So it's like, you're more success, how more low you could go. And he has a story. He was on Impulsive, and he was talking about he walked into this just full of, like, billionaires, and they were having an orgy, and they were training this hooker, and the last guy fucking nuts in her, and then gets down with a straw and drinks up all the jizz from everyone.
I don't
he
want
goes,
to be a millionaire
he puked.
anymore, dude.
Yeah, he said he puked and left, right? So,
oh, dude.
and I've thought about this of, like, all these people who are super rich, like, and it's like your brain's always creating problems, right? But their problems, like,
are a lot different.
They're so different, and
Yeah.
it's like, but that's like the biggest fear of me of anyone getting successful. And you know, when you think of yourself, like, I want to be successful and be rich, and I always think ahead. I'm like, so what if I do get there, and then I'm so bored out of my wits because it feels like I've done everything, that I end up doing fucking, like, heroin or some shit like that.
But I don't think necessarily, like, I think money just amplifies who you are.
Yeah, it's a tool.
So, not necessarily, like, it just, so if you're Luke right now, all money's going to do is just make you Luke times 10.
Yeah,
or
a
whatever.
tool. That's a tool.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
That's
that's what I mean, yeah.
Okay. And so, like, if you're not doing drugs, if you're not drinking right now, you might be a little more, like, tempting to do it. But if I gave, like, money to an alcoholic and then I gave money to a person who never drank,
yeah.
more likely the alcoholic's going to get, like, drunk out of his mind.
Drunk all the time, yeah,
or, like,
true.
you know,
you probably already had it before.
Yeah, the money
got
just
rich.
lets you do it now.
Yeah, but yeah, no, you're right, and that was my point earlier. Like, it's a tool. It just makes you more of, like, you're more of Omar with this money.
Gotcha.
I'm more of Luke. That's what and I guess, like, dude, you're better explaining shit. So that's it. But yeah, I guess you're right. So I shouldn't have that fear, but, like, I do think of it like I feel like
But no, that's good you have that fear because then
Right.
you'll most likely
not to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You're like, oh, I don't want to do that. You don't want to have an orgy with and drink cum.
No.
That's a good fear to have, man.
I don't want to do. Yeah, fuck that. Because he was like, but he, like, when Jordan Belfort was talking, he's like, it is like you want to do more, and I'll probably do crazier shit. But it's like, when you get more money, you're more successful. It's like, who's competing on who can go lower? Because it's like, I already have this money. Like, who? I throw away $100, like in the movie. So I fucking blow my nose with these $100 bills.
Yeah.
Or like,
those might be people though who didn't struggle for the money. That's what I was also saying earlier. Like, when you find $20 in your pocket, it's so easy to spend that $20. But when you work for $20,
oh yeah,
it's like,
no.
God.
I wonder if Jordan Belfort fucking grew up rich.
I'm not sure.
I think he grew up middle class or whatever, or like lower middle. No, I think he grew up like in the end of the totem pole, but like kind of middle, and then.
Yeah, I'm not sure possibly with
I'm
that.
not
But
sure either.
If you take someone who's more like cautious with his money, who like worked his way up, like
right.
more likely to keep it than someone who's just given.
And those guys, you never usually know if they're rich. They're usually pretty like.
Because they're scared of losing it. Because they know, like they. I'm not the biggest J. Cole fan, but like I forgot when he says.
Yeah, he's one of those guys.
Where he's like, I know like God or whatever can, like I'm scared that he's gonna take this all away. Like, or no, that was Kendrick Lamar. I'm sorry, I mixed him up. What was he saying? I was like sleeping hall to hall, and I
Are you
forgot
talking about Kendrick or
Kendrick? Yeah, I thought it was J. Cole, but it's Kendrick. Where he's
was
like,
it
I
on
knew.
To Pimp a Butterfly?
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it not these walls?
How much a dollar costs? It might be. That's a really good song, dude.
Is that's on? I think that's is that
It's
on
on
Pimp a
T-Pap.
Butterfly?
Yep. One of the best albums, dude.
That is a great album. That is a real. I really enjoy that album. I like it.
Always
it's like
go
so deep.
Yeah.
I really like
So
Damn,
good.
and Damn was like I fucking
Yeah,
listen
some
to Damn
people
every
didn't
day.
like it as much, but I'm pretty sure it did good numbers. Damn is good. I just think To Pimp a Butterfly, like,
It's
so
layers.
hard.
It's
just
layers.
so hard to beat. It flows so well. Like, you listen to the whole fucking album.
Well, it's an album.
Yeah.
It's like an actual art
It's a
piece.
fucking story. Like, that is insane.
Right.
That
Damn's a story too, but it's
Oh,
more.
yeah.
It's more of a. I don't want to say the word commercial, but it's more listenable to a broader audience, you know.
Yeah. Well, Kendrick was going through a lot more shit when he was making T-Bab, like alcohol addiction, drugs. Like, dude, fucking you
this
is one of the.
Dick ain't free, not a baby. Dude, that's
dude,
dope.
Fucking you is one of the deepest. Like, I don't know how someone can make that. Like, his song "You" is you. Like, fucking like. He was talking about how he was rapping like his sister and his sister's point of view of like how he hated him because like he got all this fame and shit. He's like, you have all these thousands fans, but like you never speak to like me, like the people who like believed in you at the beginning, and it kind of just like brings him back to his roots. And it's fucking the vulnerability that he put on that album is just insane.
Yeah, it is. It's an energy, man. It's a dude. That's another thing about Kendrick. Everything he drops seems to be a classic.
Yeah. Well, he just doesn't drop a lot, so it's like when he does, it's a lot more.
Well, but the thing about those artists, though, when you talk about rap, like there's artists that they can serve, and then they drop an album and it misses. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's never missed. I don't think he's ever. I think people. No, well, I think like you know, you have the people that don't really listen to rap. They think like To Pimp a Butterfly missed, but I'm like, no, it's like the most like deep album.
It's one of the like arguably number one by like a ton of people who know what they're talking about.
100%.
I'm not sure if you feel the same way, but at least the way I see it, like that album is like.
No, it's a great album. I do think it's like everything he drops, dude. Like I think is a classic. I think J. Cole is kind of like that, but I think he's had a couple albums I was like, okay. I remember that one time, dude, when you were arguing with Morgan. I always think about this all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Where you were like, hey, this is J. Cole. Like, you threw something in the trash, and I was just dying. You're like, this is J. Cole's last album. I was dying.
So, like, J. Cole was cool and everything, and I
was always more of a Kendrick guy.
I'm more of a Kendrick guy. I started listening to more of J. Cole. And what I found I liked, I don't necessarily like his solo albums, although 2014 Forest Hill Drive is good. I can't.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. His other stuff I wasn't a big fan of, and then I started listening to Revenge of the Dreamers. He kind of put together that shit. The whole story behind it, where he just bought it, like I think it was his house, and then he just told all his friends, "Fuck it, we're gonna have producers in here. We're gonna have people making beats, making all this shit, mixing, mastering. Everything you need is gonna be in this house." He invited everybody to come through, like that he probably has on his contact list, and just start making fucking music. Like that was dope. And that album, Revenge of the Dreamers 3, so fucking cool because you just have so many features. You have so many people. The way that it was explained, they have a whole documentary on it. I would watch it if you're like a big like.
I didn't see the documentary, but I saw.
Like you saw it.
Yeah,
pop up.
I saw it pop up.
Dude, it's fucking awesome.
Album's good. I loved the album.
Yeah.
I loved it. The recent Dreamers one, or
the
one
third
before
one.
that. The third one, Revenge of the Dreamers 3.
And
Big
so
black truck. That song's a shit.
And then basically it was just a bunch hungry people trying to get, because there's so many people there. So to get a song in, you have to start writing. He was like, some dude left to go to the restroom, and people jacked his studio just because like he left, and so he's like, fuck it, if you don't want it that bad, like we're gonna go in. So it like brought people back to their like hunger state. And with that competition, it's like it makes people work more. Because like people,
that makes sense because every song is very intense.
Yeah,
every song is very intense.
Because you don't know if it's gonna be your last verse.
Right.
You know, like shit. I got one song. This might not be, because if everybody's making music, you're gonna have so many songs made.
That's incredible. Well, that makes a great album, right?
Because everybody's working their hardest. And
you know who was on there? That is awesome. I need to watch that. You know who was on there that I found them like when no one, and people still don't really listen to them. But I told people. No, I know him.
Oh, okay.
I'm not the biggest fan of him, honestly.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
he has some good hooks and shit like that.
Yeah, but when he makes albums, they just kind of.
Oh, I don't listen to his albums now. Features.
Yeah, his features are good, but his albums. Anyways, what I was. Dude, Earth Gang is the shit.
Earth Gang is fucking slept on, man.
Bro. I listened to it. I was like, brother, what the? This is the gayest name. I was like, this is the gayest
melody
name.
Is. That shit is fire as fuck.
I told people, I was like, bro, listen to Earth Gang, and every person are like, what?
They can't be
like,
mainstream.
Yeah,
they just can't.
Well, but not that they just heard the name and they're like, that is the gayest
fucking
name, and I was
like,
cool.
There's just some artists and groups where it's like, they just can't be like mainstream. It's like that's just who they are. Like they'll get their views and they'll have a good core audience,
Right.
they just cannot become mainstream.
What do you think of Corday? Like YB?
Corday, he definitely went down the right path of like leaving
he's
the
gonna.
YB, like, because he's just Corday now, right?
Yeah.
He's not like YBN. Like Namir, he has some poppy songs, but that's just not who he was.
Yeah, I don't think Namir's gonna go anywhere.
No, I mean he has some good songs, and hopefully he can like live off like his royalties and shit or whatever he has. Hopefully he played his cards right.
Right.
Seemed like a cool group of guys. I think it's nice that there's someone like more lyrically.
Yeah.
In there, I don't listen to his music as much. I know, like, obviously he has skill. If he's rapping, I'm not. So like,
right.
At the end of the day,
with Corday, man, I fucking like I used to like in high school. I used to just listen to freestyles and just
that's what he was known for. No.
Right. Yeah. And I heard him. And I was like, who the fuck is this? And I just listened to all of his freestyles. Before he really even had, all he had was maybe mixtapes. No one knew him. And I started telling, like, Marty, we used to talk about rap all the time. I was like, bro, this dude's going to be big. Listen to him. He's like, oh, yeah. And I was telling him, I was like, bro, this kid's going to be big. The next week, there's a picture posted of him and Dr. Dre. And I was like, fuck you. I was right. Like, I called this kid. And then 50 Cent called him out or whatever. Like, 50 Cent, like, all in, like, 2 weeks. Like, after a month after I found him.
Yeah.
Kinda,
yeah.
Dr. Dre's my
like,
yeah. 50. I read his book, dude. I love 50, bro.
50, Dre, Eminem.
Yeah, all that whole group, that whole like aftermath. Yeah, I
so
fucking
sad.
love him.
Eminem, like, his career continued, so he's more of a joke now.
Yeah, it sucks.
Or are you a big fan of like his music?
I actually liked his new stuff. But, like, I don't like Revival, and I don't like. He flops a lot, but I think his B-side album that just came out.
Okay.
I thought it was great. The song he did with Cudi, I thought was awesome.
Yeah. See,
but he doesn't. He's not in touch with.
He's still like making this. Is he still making like the same rap that he used to in a way, or is it different now?
It's a lot different. Like this is how I feel about him, right?
Hot coffee pot.
Yeah, that's
just funny,
dude. So yeah, this is how I feel about him. I think when he kind of like ended with Marshall Mathers LP2, did Rap God, it was like okay, like he's finished, right? Everyone thought he was finished, but then he's just for rap. He's always gonna be there because he loves it.
You know Don't finish. Sorry.
So he came out with Revival, and I was like, this is fucking trash. I was like, bro, this is not what any of us wanted to hear. We don't care about any, like, your political whatever. Like, be fucking crazy like you used to be, right? And then he made Kamikaze, and when that came out, dude, I was like a geek, and I was like a kid. I was like, fuck yeah!
He's back! Let's fucking go!
Like, when I heard the fucking plane crash and him go, I want to punch someone in the face right now, I was like, dude, this is great. And that album was and I don't go off sales, but first off, I think it was very impactful in 2018.
Okay.
Because, for one, a lot of diss tracks came out that year.
Yeah.
Like, after him. Like, after that. Two, Energy was back on dissing people. And I was like, come on, bro. Give credit where credit's due. Like, people weren't dissing people until he came out that album. Then, second, he was like, and I don't go off sales, but he was like the 4th top selling. And for someone to be in the game for like 20 years and still be 4th top selling, like that, to me, that's wild.
That's pretty dope. What sucks with him is like he'll always be in the same picture, kind of as, I guess not necessarily in the same picture, but he could have been as like Biggie and Pac, but he just didn't die, and that's the sad part that people don't realize.
I've noticed that too.
Is that if Biggie kept going like Eminem did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he started making these mediocre albums that people say, oh, he flopped in sales, oh, he did this. Would people still look at Biggie and Pac the same way they look? If you die in your peak, it's a lot easier to be remembered.
You're right. No, you're right.
Because you're like...
Russ said that.
Did he say that?
Yeah, Russ did. He was like, I don't know. I love Biggie and Pac, but they died. He's like, they keep going. You know what I mean? Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
And that's why, like, dude, when
you can't be bad if you never made anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like...
No, you're right, and it does suck that he flopped and he made it. But, dude, honestly, if you do listen to his... Not the, like, one he came out with, but, like, the B-side album that he just came out with. Like, I felt like he was away for so long, so he didn't understand, like, how to come back.
Mm-hmm. He
came back shitty. Kamikaze was cool because it was, like, old to him, but he still wasn't used to, like, new shit, you know? He was experimenting. When he came out with that Music to Be Murdered By, I was like, okay, he's kind of getting it. When he did that B-side, or no, my bad. When he fucking, like, it's almost like he was nailing it in, and he still was kind of missing. But when he did that song with Kid Cudi, like, it's new, and it sounds like something different than everything else.
But it's still Eminem.
It's still,
yeah.
I think he fucking nailed it, bro. And I'm a geek for Eminem, so I might be a little biased, but I'll be honest, I didn't like Revival, and I don't necessarily like Music to Be Murdered By, but I do like Kamikaze, and I do like the B-side to, and the Kid Cudi song, and his features like the Fat Joe song where he dissed Nick Cannon. I thought that was a pretty good verse. So
is Marshall Mathers LP2 the one with his curtains, or what's the one?
No, that's Eminem Show.
Eminem Show, dude. I had that shit on my iPod Shuffle.
That's probably his best album.
Dude, I was listening. What was I doing at 10-year-old? Like listening to Eminem, like the shit he was saying.
Superman.
Yeah, that fucking music video is like top tier.
Yeah,
is that him where he's like robbing or whatever?
That's Without Me.
Without Me.
He's robbing. Yeah,
that shit's so funny.
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah. I wish it sucks that he kept going, like, because Recovery came out. That shit was huge.
Yeah, Rihanna.
And then,
was Rihanna on that?
Yeah, Rihanna. And then I think Airplanes was B.O.B.'s album. That was before that.
Okay.
Yeah, but same era, right?
That era was crazy, dude.
Everyone hated Relapse, which was the album where he had all the crack a bottle, let your body waddle.
Yeah.
That album was like, dude, honestly, like, it's honestly one of those albums that are genius, but he ran the genius into the ground and no one understood it. Like, that was because if you really think about it, he was just hardcore. Like, he was rhymey, but he wasn't rhymey. Like now he's really rhymey. Like, he rhymes everything.
He was a lot more grimy, like, about his, like, who he was, like,
yeah,
growing up.
He was more grimy and more like fucking kind of like DMX, like aggressive. But when he made that album, he was still pretty aggressive and shit. But it was super rhymey and no one understood it. Like, he made it, if you listen to it, it's all in accents. He made the album in accents, so he made words rhyme.
Yeah, because the orange,
Right, yeah.
I saw that.
Right, but that's like kind of like years later. But that was like 8 years later because everyone hated that album, so he went and made Recovery.
Gotcha.
So same with Revival. Everyone hated Revival, and I don't know how you feel about Kamikaze or whatever. But then he came out with
listened enough to like judge it.
Right. Well, yeah, it was like a 10-song album. It didn't even feel like an album, but he made Kamikaze, and like I said, for 10 songs to be like the 4th best selling or whatever, I thought that was pretty fucking
for his
cool.
age and everything he's done.
Yeah.
Gotta feel
this B-side, if you listen to this B-side, I think this B-side's incredible. And like when Music to Be Murdered By came out, I was like, you know, it's
just leaving. Like, you need something. Like,
you need some more. Like, you need to be a little more
almost there,
edgy.
but yeah.
Exactly, it's almost there. Then when that Kid Cudi, a couple features came out, I was like, okay, that Kid Cudi song. I think that's when he's like, oh, he finally got it.
Yeah.
I do like I did like his diss to MGK both times, and I do like MGK's diss too. I thought they were both pretty good. I've really thought about that diss, and I kind of want to say it was a draw. If I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of hard to say that about him.
Diss tracks are fucking crazy.
They're my favorite. I listened to Back to Back the other day, and like, dude, I got a boner.
Oh, dude, did you listen to Pusha T Beef and all that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Holy, bro, I remember where I was.
Same.
I was on the PC. I was on our computer. This was what, 2018, 2017?
Yeah.
2018, whatever. And I'm sitting down. My brother comes running up the stairs. I thought he was about to beat me or some shit. Like, what does he pass at me now? He's like, bro, Pusha T dropped. I go on YouTube so quick, bro. I look it up, story of Adidon or whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what it fucking meant. I'm like, holy shit, he has a fucking kid. Holy shit.
Like, that shit was crazy.
Tick, tick, tick. That boy is 666, whatever, bro.
666. Yeah. That boy is 666.
That's
That's fucked up because his friend was
yes,
dying, and I was like,
know.
damn.
But that's the fucking.
He went low, and I was like, dude, this is one of the best diss
fuck
tracks.
with my wife or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
or he's like,
everybody...
show who you chose to be your Beyonce.
Bro.
I was like, wow, where are we going with this?
Yeah.
He's like, you got a porn star. You're hiding a child. I was like,
let that boy come home, deadbeat motherfucker playing Border Patrol. Like, he just killed him, and then Drake didn't even say anything.
Yeah, Drake said he made the diss track, but I was like,
he's like, my management said, like, no,
yeah, I was like, bro, you can't drop a diss track
this
after
dude, like,
that.
imagine getting diss track so hard you have to become a dad, bro.
yeah.
In the
The
public.
whole, yeah, in the public. That was kind of shitty because he was probably really was trying to hide the kid from everybody.
He was. I mean, if he wasn't, he would have said something.
Yeah, and then like.
But
Pusha T was like, "Hey, bro, come on, step to this."
There's so
dude.
much beef over like who the fuck snitched and like who was in the studio with him.
Supposedly it was his producer, but I don't know if I believe
I
that.
don't know. It's
weird. They're kind of like Dr. Dre and Eminem back in the day. Like Drake and his producer are like they make like they're
OVO.
tight. Exactly. But. I remember where I was too, because when I heard Duppy freestyle, I remember I was driving around, I was like, God damn, I was like, dude, Drake cannot lose.
I know.
I was like, Drake does not lose. I was like, no way. And then I got home, and I'm chilling, and that's when Ray lived with me, and he was like, oh shit, he dropped. And I think we were driving. I was like, hey, let's listen to it, and I played it. And I remember, he speaks Spanish in the beginning of it, and he goes, Ray knows Spanish. He's like, shut the fuck up, because he said it wrong, and I thought it was funny.
That
we started listening to it.
Story of OJ.
Yeah, name OJ. Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, he has a fucking kid. Yeah, that shit was
album
wild.
picture, or the diss track cover with him in blackface. Like,
do you think that's the best diss track of all time?
Dude, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like, because he's coming at Drake, who, like, obviously he had back-to-back. He dropped,
Back-to-back is like, weird thing about back-to-back is I used to not put it as a diss track, like a great it's obviously a phenomenal diss track. It won an award, right?
You know how sad that's gotta be?
That is sad for me, bro.
You're like, oh my god. But they worked together on Going Bad fucking hard at.
It's getting scary, yeah. That was awesome, but I know, because then the next year everyone was like, oh, Meek got out. I was like, yeah, I remember when it was that the world tour or your girls tour? Yeah. But the thing about that is, dude, so Drake, it's like when it first came out, I didn't even know it was a diss track. I just thought it was a really good song. Yeah. That's why it bothered me about it, and it took me a while to realize. I was like, bro, it's not even a real diss track. It's just a song.
Because he like with this is in it. Is that what you're saying? It's more of a song.
Well, it's Drake. Okay, but this is what made me realize. I was like, bro, because when you hear a diss track, you're like, oh, it's a diss track. Like, especially like back in the day, like if like Eminem or DMX or someone.
It's direct. It's
direct.
That's how the story of Adidon was. Like, it's like you know who he's talking about.
Yeah, and
he's
it's
coming
like,
at your fucking neck. He's coming at your kid. He's coming at your wife. That's a porn star.
Right. But here's the thing. This is why it's kind of different from MGK. But Drake kind of beat him in a way that Meek couldn't. Drake's like, I make hits, bro. Okay, I make fucking hits. You don't make hits like I make hits. You had dreams and nightmares. Okay, that's it, bro. Yeah. You might have some, but not on my level. So you're gonna come at me and diss me with that weak ass shit. I'm gonna drop a fucking hit, dissing you the whole time, and it's not even gonna seem like a diss, but it's gonna win a fucking. So when I realized that, I was like, okay, that's a pretty sick diss track. He won him to his advantage. He used his advantage over it. So I respect it a lot.
But with the story of Adidon, like we were talking about, like it's easy to make fun of someone who's like fat with fat jokes because it's so obvious. Yeah. Pusha T was like, fuck the ghostwriting, fuck the drug talk, fuck all the coke, because like that's who Pusha T is. He's like, let's talk about your kid. Let's talk about your wife. Let's talk about all this shit you did.
Let's talk about,
ghostwriting aside, drug dealing aside.
He fucking
let's have
hit
a heart
him in
to
the
heart
ankle.
with your pride. He even got at his fucking dad.
He was talking shit on his
like
dad,
that. Like, he's like, because that afro wouldn't nap enough. And shit
saying
like
he wasn't black enough.
That's the shit that hurts.
And he got that picture of him whiteface. That was wild.
Blackface.
Or blackface, my bad. Blackface, that was wild.
Because, like, that's the shit that hurts him. Because he talks about, he's like,
you're not black enough, you act white, like, and you have a kid.
Fucking Pusha T's like,
Daddy wasn't around.
Fuck all your, like, your ghostwriting, like, people have writing your raps.
Let's talk about you.
That. Let's talk about, like, you. He said, let's have a heart-to-heart with your pride.
Right.
Like, let's reconsider. Like, you think you're a man? We're going to think about that again, because you got some other shit going on. Yeah. And that's the shit that hurts people. Like.
Yeah, it does. And that's why for a long time, I didn't put back-to-back on my list, but now I do because of it. But, like, when I like diss tracks that are like that are real diss tracks. Like,
just fucking no limit, like.
Fucked up. Yeah. Like, dude, honestly, if you listen to, like, and I go back to, like, No Vaseline by Ice Cube, if you know that one, like, where he dissed NWA. If you like, and it's old, so it might be a disconnect, but if you listen to it, it's like fucking hard. Like,
I like
hey
that shit.
Dre, stick to producing. I was like,
There's no hiding, bro.
yeah,
It's
there's
like,
none, and he's like getting fucked by a white boy with no Vaseline. I was like, but like that's like what you said. No one knows about their producer.
Yeah.
He's like telling the truth, and he's like, and Easy's dick is smelling like MC Ren shit, like saying he fucks them in the ass, like, dude, that's just crazy. And same with dude, Ice Cube's great at fucking dissing people. I'll tell you that. Like, if someone disses Ice Cube, they better run. And I know,
and that's how everybody felt with Drake, though. It's like when he dropped his diss track, he was like, "Oh, Pusha T's fucked." Like, Pusha T isn't as known as Drake, so it's like when Pusha T was like, people are like, "Dude, Pusha T's like, all he does is rap about drugs and all that coke and pushing weight and all that crap." So they're like, "Dude, did you hear back to back? Like, he's gone." Like, and then you play it and you're like, "Oh shit." Like Drake's screwed. Oh, I have one, but my management's saying not to drop it. Probably because they don't want you to fucking die.
Yeah,
like,
they're like, no.
If he's already brought your kid up, what else he know? So.
Yeah, that is true. He probably would have. He's like, we can keep going layer by layer. Like, well, that's another dude. The people with the best diss tracks, and I've said this for years. What's it called? What was it called? Clips. Remember Clips with it was Pusha T and Pharrell.
Yeah.
Pharrell said this, and it enlightened me. People, he said, I love Pusha T. I like working with him because he paints the darkest picture. Look at people with the best diss tracks. Pusha T, Eminem, DMX, Ice Cube. I'm trying to think. I'm going down. All these grimy, fucking aggressive. They paint the darkest pictures.
Because they know what hurts. They know what fucking.
They know what hurts, and they're like, they like know how to say detailed. Like they say detailed shit.
Like it just straight for your throat, cutthroat. Fuck it. We're gonna scrap. Like you wanna fuck with me? Like we're gonna rap. If you wanna have a diss track battle, we're gonna have a diss track.
I kind of think Drake's gonna end up like M a little bit. Unless he stops. But where he doesn't.
He's just so good at putting up numbers, dude.
He is good at putting it, but so was M though. Back in the day, like we're looking 10 years prior.
Drake was like getting numbers though when M was getting numbers too. Like he's lasted generations, dude.
Yeah, so did M though. M went 10 full fucking years of just pretty much every album being on top.
Yeah, that's true because M was popping before Drake.
That's what I'm saying. Like Drake has done this. Okay, Drake is more consistent than M. Don't get me wrong. M's more of like a Kendrick type lyricist, but I think Drake is like people are already kind of like. Remember his 2018 album? People were kind of like, and I don't know if it was the diss. I think it was more of their expectations are so high. No matter what he puts out, people are like, it's just not as good as old Drake.
It's just that whole era, dude. Like I miss that whole. I would watch top 100s, and I was always just like, did you ever watch that? I would always watch it on TV where it's like top 100. It's always like Drake, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne. Bro, that era is fucking crazy. Pineapple, like, bro, that's. Oh, dude, Rainbow Mango, whatever that shit was. That was a fucking crazy era, dude. Music was. Everybody had iPod Shuffle.
Yeah, did you have one? iPod Shuffle. A Nano. I had an orange Nano.
Dude, I always wanted one. I only got the Shuffle, but I was trying to figure out how to download shit on it and like. Get it for free, like YouTube to MP3 converter.
Right.
I wasn't paying for shit, dude. I had no money.
Fuck.
I was trying to download stuff, but
no, I always.
Who do you think's like leading the way? Like what like are you listening?
Next? Oh, who am I? Dude, it's so hard, bro.
Or Slept On, like.
Slept On. You know who I really liked? Everyone I liked gets either shot or goes to jail. Because I loved King Von. I loved Juice WRLD. I loved Pop Smoke. I thought Pop Smoke was going to be the next.
Jeez, bro.
And he
Pop
got shot.
50, like, bro, he was a little 50 Cent.
He really was.
There,
he looks like him. He talks like him. Acts like him. Like, I was like, dude, there's no way.
I was a huge... we had the... Did you do the Spotify Wrapped or whatever?
Yeah.
Bro, I didn't realize how much I listened to Pop Smoke, because I was listening to him, like, when Jack Boys came out, when he started popping off.
When Travis
and so I was like listening to like that, and then he got like that Trav kind of verified in a way, right? So and everybody was like starting to listen to him, and like he was more popping in the New York scene, and like because it's harder to get over here. And dude, I was 0.05% of the top Pop Smoke listeners. I was like top 20K of like
Really?
I was listening to him so fucking
That's
much.
fucking
His
crazy.
whole vibe, dude, is just fucking crazy. It's just like
He's nuts, man.
crime. Like I just love that shit. That shit gets you hype in the gym.
His deluxe shit where he's like a couple niggas in the lobby are
Yeah.
trying to find me. I don't want to
Uh,
have to catch a body. That shit was wild,
Oh my
man.
goodness, man! And then everything with his second Meet the Woo, everything, just
Yeah.
like his whole demeanor,
The Jack Boys one was dope.
Yeah.
My bitch love
Cuckoo.
Yeah.
His whole voice,
Baby.
you just
Yeah.
looking at he's 19, 20, just
Dude, that's
the
kinda like-
best voice.
That makes me have a disconnect with 5Yo Foreign because I feel like 5Yo Foreign just kind of babysits off of Pop Smoke.
See, that's how it feels like, but that's because like Pop Smoke was, and I get that feeling too. I know what you're saying. It's like
I
bro,
still
that's not-
like him. I still
but
like
it's
him.
because
But
Pop Smoke was like a huge, like that's New York drill.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah,
a
yeah.
version of rapping,
Right.
and that's New York drill, which is like UK, like or I
yeah,
think it's,
they
like,
they use
British.
the UK or whatever it's. I don't know what
Yeah.
that rap's called. Those beats are
The
drill beats. Yeah, UK
but
drill
that's
beats.
why it's
yeah.
New York drill,
Yeah.
because it's like their own version of
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
like
yeah.
woo and like all that shit. But he made it popping, like he was
He
the
made
one,
it
like,
popular. yeah.
there's probably people before him, obviously, but he's super mainstream in our generation.
Yeah.
So then every time you hear like Fabio Foreign or whatever is that how you say it? Fabio?
Yeah,
Fabio?
5Yo Foreign. Yeah.
You kind of think of Pop Smoke in a
Yeah,
way.
because
and other
it's
drill,
UK
but
drill or
I
whatever.
always have to
beats.
remind myself is like that's just drill. Like that
Right.
is New York drill.
Yeah, and it has a similar flow and shit, and he has a different voice. I love Fabio Foreign. I just like that's the disconnect I have. I'm like,
I know
man,
what you're
it's just
saying. I
not-
feel the same way.
Well, it's just not Pop Smoke, you know.
Mhm.
And like I know it's like the UK drill beats, which I was like when I listened to him, I was like, bro, these beats are so cool. And I was like, oh yeah, like these are like I always forget.
But you
their
gotta bring your
names.
energy on them, man. The drill beats just fucking go crazy.
They do.
That's the one thing
I like
fucking
those guys,
sad.
those British rappers though. I do
Some
like
of them
them.
are fire. Skepta.
Like yeah, like dun 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 dun
Oh,
Batman.
Yeah.
Dun 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 Batman.
bro, I'm just so pissed. I can never go to a Pop Smoke concert. Like that's what pisses me off. Like the energy that would have been there
Yeah.
would have been crazy.
Did you like YNW Melly?
Not too much.
I
mean,
loved him, and
I
he
liked
went to fucking like shot somebody. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, why?
See, but that's different. Like, I mean, I guess so. Like,
Well, he's never coming out.
Yeah,
He's
I
going
know.
to, you know what I mean? He's basically dead.
yeah.
Well, it is different because it's, but kind of, not really, but
But it's
kind
like-
of, yeah.
I mean, I
one's
know,
dead.
I know. Pop Smoke was like messing with the shit. Like, he was probably like involved with deeper shit that.
Right.
And people were like, "Why did it have to be him?" But at the same time, he's messing with drugs. You know, he's messing
Right.
with people like
That was
and that
awful.
stuff. So it's like obviously he's in that scene, and he wasn't with the right people.
I
So
wish he never got fucking killed.
it's just like
Same
so
with Juice
sad.
WRLD. I really like Juice WRLD.
Yeah,
I
I
was
started
a,
listening to a lot. Juice
I was
WRLD
a
after he
fan.
died.
I listened to him like when he started. I was a fucking fangirl for Juice
Yeah, that's
WRLD.
how I was with Pop Smoke, dude. Fucking-
I was as well with Pop Smoke, but not when he first came out. When he first came out, I was like, oh, this dude's gonna blow up because his voice, his style. I was like, this guy's gonna blow up, but I'm not really interested. But then he started kind of blowing up, and I got on the train a little. I mean, I knew he was gonna blow up, but I got on the train. I was like, oh, this guy's fucking good. And then fucking months later, I was fangirling over him. Then he fucking died, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
bro. That's just sad. Do you hate when people like okay, Pop Smoke dies, his next album comes out like by 50 Cent. I wasn't the biggest fan of it.
No, I thought it was great. I thought it was
Yeah.
perfectly executed. I thought 50 did his fucking
See,
job.
I mean, I don't think 50 did bad. It's just because like you have to work with what you have, so who knows what he has. It was just too like I like the love songs on there, but it's like at the end of the day, that was not Pop Smoke. Like obviously he was like I've seen his videos of his lovey side and shit like that,
Right.
you know, and like he has that in him. I think some of the songs are fire that are like lovey.
Yeah.
But it was just missing something to me. Like Meet the Woo and Meet the Woo 2, like it just didn't have that same energy. Like you were saying with Eminem, like where it's like it's hitting the nail, but it's just not fucking sinking
It's
it.
not sinking it. Yeah.
And that's how I felt.
That's how I felt. I didn't feel like that with his album, and it could be because I'm a 50 fan, and I thought this is how I thought. I said, look, if anyone's gonna take his album after he
Yes,
dies, it
I
has
agree.
to be 50. And it was structured. If you look at it, it's structured exactly like Get Rich or Die Trying.
Okay.
That's how it's structured, and that's how it feels. Like it's hit after hit after hit. So I think okay, Juice WRLD's album. That's how I felt. I was like, this isn't Juice WRLD. Like it's been a year or two after he died. It's
Bro,
it's
I
not
hate
good.
those albums that they like. I
It's
hope they
not
just stop
them.
dropping Pop Smoke. Like
Yeah, it's not
record
them.
labels like just need to know. Like I understand it's money,
let
it's
them
business.
rest, yeah.
It's bro, like you're just ruining their career.
Yeah,
like
you
washing
are.
them up
While
like,
they're dead.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, but that's another thing is like, dude, like with Juice WRLD's album, it's so sad too. I was like, man, I was a huge Juice WRLD fan. I listened, and I was like, so maybe that's the same concept. I was just like, dude, and everyone liked it, but maybe that's, you were probably a bigger fan of Pop Smoke than me, so maybe that's why. Because I was like, I still don't even know all the songs on Juice WRLD's album because I was like, this is like stupid because it's not even them.
Yeah, see,
You
that's how I feel when it's like X, like he got milked so hard after he died.
It's like, God,
when
bad,
you're using clips of like raw audio where it's like you can't, like it's cell phone audio and shit like that, where you're just trying to milk whatever is left in the bank. It's like, bro, just fucking let it be. If it's like if it's almost done, like if the songs are there, I'm fine with that. Like Mac Miller, I'm pretty sure he had a posthumous album or whatever.
Right.
Like those albums.
That album was too sad.
Those albums that are like about to be finished, like Pop Smoke was working on music, obviously.
Right.
So like, okay, make him one more album, give it a tribute, cool, let him rest. X had like 5 albums or something come out. I'm like, bro, there's no way.
The
Like,
only thing I think they should have done with X, and it's just like, I know, like this is my opinion or whatever, but I think with X, the Joey Badass and his album was so anticipated.
bro,
I think if they would have just took all the shitty albums they made of him and just made him and Joey Badass, because we were waiting on that, especially for
fucking
X fans.
Joey Badass is so fucking good, man.
He is good, but you know what pissed me off is he came out with that album in 2018 or 2017, and then like 2 weeks later, like Kendrick's album came out. I was like, I'm sorry, I love you. I was like,
dude, Joey Badass is so slept on, man.
He is, dude. He is one of the best flows I think of all time. His flow is ridiculous.
He's not mainstream though. Like he's just not capable of getting to that level. Not
I
necessarily
think he is.
capable.
He doesn't. Dude.
It's just not popular enough.
Yeah.
It's just too lyrical. Where it's just like.
I think he's capable with his flow. Like I think he is, but he doesn't. It's almost like he wants to do him. You know what I mean?
I think it's just too boring to people.
Yeah,
but it's not.
Sure.
It like to me. I think that shit's cold as fuck. It's like one of the
Right.
youngest lyric. Like I think he's what 25, 26.
Oh
or something
really?
right
I didn't
now.
know he was that young.
Dude, he made.
He was old.
No,
He
dude.
seems old.
He's
to
young.
Me.
Well, he's just that, and like he has that energy to him.
Yeah,
where
he
he grew up quick.
Yeah.
Like, and he got on the scene hella early. He was making. I don't know if you ever heard the mixtape 1999. I'm pretty sure he's 25, 26. I may be wrong, but he's definitely younger than 30. He might be older. I don't know.
He's probably young. I don't know. I thought he was like 30 something for some weird reason.
But yeah, he made 1999.
It sounds
that
really
mixtape.
familiar.
Bro,
really familiar.
He was like 16, 17, just dropping fucking bangers.
Right.
Just holy shit, the wordplay on that is crazy. Survival tactics. You have Illuminati. You had
I might have to give it a listen.
It was like MF Doom inspired.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just passed away recently.
Yeah, they kept it a secret for a while.
Crazy.
That's wild.
Kind of good. Let the family rest, but it's like
that was actually
fits
good.
the story.
I was never a fan.
Kind of crazy. It was on. Well, people weren't fans. It was your rapper's favorite rapper.
It was a rapper's rapper.
That's what it was. That's what he was known for. Like he's like, I'm your rapper's favorite rapper. Like Earl Sweatshirt, Tyler the Creator. Like they all, like Joey Badass. Like they were looking at MF Doom. And like some of the shit MF Doom did was crazy. Dude. Like he had like a whole story behind him. I wasn't the biggest MF Doom fan.
No, but I still respected him. Like I still listen to him every now.
Well, he just has so much.
I thought Nipsey was a rapper's rapper before he died. If I would be honest,
bro.
To be honest, I loved his album. I thought it was great. But you know, everyone jumped on his dick after he died.
See, that's the thing.
It's annoying. But when you listen to it, it's like dude, this is why rappers listen to it.
What was it?
Blue or race blue. Fuck, was it? I don't know. It's like
the one with the car, right? That's
it's the car.
Yeah,
I know exactly. Because I listened to that album because Charlemagne, and I don't like Charlemagne, but he said, "Hey, this is album of the year," and I listened to it, and I was like, "Huh, this is really fucking good."
Yeah.
And I liked him, but
He's a good dude. It seemed like too, and everything.
He was, dude. He was doing crazy things, but if you look back, he literally was like friends with all these. He was a rapper's rapper. Like everyone loved him. Just he was not mainstream. Then when he died, he became mainstream. And like, but what's crazy is when he died and his shit came out, his music had more of like a push to it. You know, it had more of an energy to it. Like hustle and motivate. That's all I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? Like that shit.
It's so sad. Like then they gotta go. Like,
When the documentary was made was crazy.
Fuck, it's so sad because it's always that what if, like that.
Yeah, I don't think he got killed because of that. In 50's book, he explains it really well. He's like,
There's more to it. It's just
no. It's so simple how 50 explains it. He goes, look, dude, when you're when you're in the streets and you're teaching, positivity, black excellence, financial, how to be financially
people
responsible.
lose money off that.
Well, people want to be in your position. Like, everyone wants to be the king. Yeah, he's like, dude, Run DMC, right? Well, everyone in Run DMC moved out of the hood. Well, one guy, the fucking DJ or whatever, stayed in the hood, and obviously he was the king of his neighborhood. So
people get mad at
people are jealous of it. He's like, that's the same exact reason. And he's like, if you go back and look, they were telling him, dude, you need to move out of your neighborhood.
Bro.
Like, he's like, dude, there's no reason for me, and 50 goes, there's no reason for me to be in Jamaica, Queens. I give back, I help people enough. I'm not ashamed, but I'm not going to live in Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah.
I will be dead tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's like, that's exactly why Nipsey got killed. And I was like, that makes sense.
It sucks though because he just wanted to help his community. Like, those people who want to do good, I'm not saying 50 isn't doing good because he's definitely giving his money, but like, he just wanted to be there and like physically and he was
on another
doing
level.
that.
He was on another level. Like,
but it's like someone just has to ruin the fucking mood and be like, oh, you can't fucking do that.
Yeah, that's my job. I do that. But like, the energy, and dude, here's another thing. People, and it's crazy, they always die at like 25. I don't know how old Nipsey is, but it's weird. People with these fucking energies, they always die. Like, Tupac, Biggie, Kurt Cobain, Bob Marley.
But it's also because they die. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no. I agree on that, but I think these guys, dude, like, during their time period, I think that it's like they had to die. They had to, because I feel like it's almost like a prophecy, dude. Like, they have to fucking die.
If it's a story in a way.
Well, yeah, because it's like, dude, like Kurt Cobain was and maybe he's more appreciated because he died. I do agree, they're more appreciated because they die, but I also do think that, like Tupac, dude, Tupac's energy is crazy. Like, you watch his videos and shit, he's on another level, you know what I mean? I think, dude, it's almost like if you would have let that guy live, I think he would have been in politics. I think he would have been doing some crazy shit. So it's almost like sometimes
or he could have flopped, bro. He could have had the same image as what Eminem has. It's
Eminem,
like a joke.
yeah, for sure. But I don't know. Maybe M had the same.
But did people
energy.
think that same thing with Eminem? People were like, bro, Eminem's fucking insane. Like, bro, all this shit
that
he's
true.
doing.
That
you know
is
what I'm
true.
saying?
He could have flopped. I guess you're right. But I don't know. I think some people, they're just meant to die young because, like, the good die young, like, they're.
Yeah, that's what they say. 21 Club.
Yeah, the good die young. They have to be like, they were on another level energy, but like.
And that's when you get on that conspiracy shit. Like, it's because of the government, and then like they don't want.
Right.
But I don't know how much I believe with that. But.
I don't know, but I do think, because like if you listen to Eminem, like his first 3 albums, they were on another fucking level.
Well, it's that hunger. It's that, like,
they're
trying to make
it. It is that. Well, it is that hunger, but and that's another thing he always talks. He's like, I don't have the rage like I used to.
Yeah.
So that's why he flopped. And Tupac, Biggie, all of them could have done the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, to go back to what you were saying, like their energies. Like Eminem definitely had the energy when he came out, because when you listen to him, like a lot of people had that hunger, but when he came out, it was like, what the fuck did he just say?
Rapping,
yeah,
like,
and he's just like, and not even just what he said, how he said it. Like, they blame it on Maryland.
Dig deeper
in
it,
it,
and like you're trying to, like, holy shit, there's layers to it.
Right, yeah, his voice and everything. Like, the heroin, where with the parents at, the hideaway,
and then you gotta replay it and like
shit.
listen to that shit like 3 times, and
right.
you're like, holy shit, and then you listen to it like 3
plus
days later,
the
and you're like,
pain in his voice too, like
it was coming.
Actually, it's like real. Now when you hear him pissed off, it's like, dude, you're not that pissed off. Like, you're just like, it's like you're fake mad now.
Because
he's
rich
not
now.
real mad.
He's rich. He's not struggling anymore, so it's like, all right.
Right.
Dude.
Well, and even when he was like you could tell he was struggling when he was doing drugs and shit. That's why everyone's like, oh, I like him better, because he was struggling. There was still pain there.
Chance the Rapper.
And made his fucking album amazing.
A prime example of that.
Yeah,
Chance,
for
like,
sure.
bro, I cannot listen to Chance the Rapper anymore. When he dropped Acid Rap 10 Day, I was like,
I loved his mixtapes.
fuck, dude, that shit was so good.
Acid rapper.
Fucking, he's smoking weed, he's grinding,
yeah.
he's like handing out mixtapes, and now he's like a wholesome, like, Jesus, Family Guy, which is like good for him in a way, but then it's like it just makes for awful music.
It does. You gotta have pain for music, bro.
Yeah.
Like I say this all the time.
For art in general.
Yeah, for art. When you Bill Burr has that joke. Like, you like Bill Burr?
Yeah, I've listened to
Yeah,
him.
he's like, look. He made like a kind of like because his wife's black. He made like a black-white joke, and he goes, look. You could have our privilege, but your music's gonna suffer. And he's like, you can't have this fucking white privilege I have. Next thing you know, you're gonna be stomping on the wrong beat, clapping on the wrong. It was so funny.
Yeah.
But it's kind of true. Like that pain, it goes into and that's like Tupac, like back to all those guys. Like when you hear them, you hear their fucking pain. When you don't hear that pain anymore, it's like, man, I don't.
That's when they get washed. That's when you're like, oh, I want the old. Blah blah blah, old Chance back.
Whatever.
But then, like at the same time, like for the human person, it's like, okay, I'm glad Chance is off because then it goes back. It's like, oh, these people are dying from this shit, you know. So it's like, then it's like, fuck. So you gotta find the middle ground. So you're like, I want good music. I want them to live, but then the way they're making the good music is the shit they're dying from, you know.
Yeah, dude. I'll tell you a perfect example of the opposite. Who aged like wine. And I don't know if you're a fan of Johnny fucking Cash, dude, but no, I have him right. It's Johnny Cash and Elvis, dude. Yeah, it's fucking dope. I like Elvis, but I like Johnny Cash. I think that's a badass picture. That's fucking awesome. It's signed up there and everything. I've got it in an auction. It's
fucking dope.
Yeah, it is dope, isn't it? Yeah, thank you, dude. It's fucking. It took me forever to get it. They couldn't find my fucking bank account. I was like, dog, I'm fucking paying money for this. Like, get it here.
I want it.
Yeah, I was like, this is going on my podcast, but. Like, if you listen to Hurt by Johnny Cash, well, it's a cover of another song, but, like, dude, when you listen to it, dude, you hear the pain of all the drug abuse, all the divorces, all the money he lost in divorces, all the fucking pain and agony, people in his life dying. Like, you hear the fucking sorrow in this dude's voice, and when you, like, if you listen to young Johnny Cash, yeah, it was good, and he was popping, but you listen to Hurt and listen to Folsom Prison Blues, it's like, this song, like, is great.
Yeah.
Like, it's phenomenal because
it's like that pain. It's that, you can't fake that.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, even though he was rich and wealthy, he was still fucking painful, and it made his music later in life actually better.
Gotcha. I haven't listened to it, but I can tell what you're saying. Like,
yeah, so it's like and for some reason rap is never like that, but maybe some rappers who flop will fucking maybe just fucking hate their lives enough to make some good. Like maybe Chance will fucking one day hate his life enough.
Start doing acid.
Yeah, and be like, because dude, he drank till the day he died. He fucking died fat. They both of them died fat and worthless. Elvis is a different story though. Elvis was the cool thing about Elvis is that he came at the same time that TV came. Gotcha. So him being a celebrity was. Like, and Bill Burr has a joke about this too, where he's like, dude, they intersected at the same time. So, you know, because you could have been famous before that, but no one knew what you looked like. So now he did everything that everyone wasn't, everything that every celebrity wasn't did, but he did it first. You know what I mean? He fucked up. He fucking got a manager that stole from him, got a shitty wife that stole from him, quit singing, started doing shitty movies, got fat, tried to do karate kicks.
Everybody's seen it in the prime, like, fucking spotlight on him.
Right, he opened doors, he kicked open doors for all these fucking wrong things. Shit. When you're a celebrity, it's all the wrong things to do. He opened it for everyone. He's the guy. And because you know you see like Britney Spears shaving her head, but then she's okay later because it's like he gets addicted to pills, dies on the fucking toilet. Literally, he fucking.
What Eminem music video is that? When Elvis is taking a shit or whatever, and they're like on the shit.
I think it's either Without Me or it's
the
Business. I think it might be Business.
It might be Without Me.
Well, no, it's Business. He's like, to use black music to get myself wealthy. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's funny.
Elvis, yeah, it was funny. But he did have a line in Relapse where he's like, what would Elvis do in your shoes? Because he was addicted to pills and shit.
Gotcha.
But back to like that is
Sorry.
Like, no, you're good. No, I don't give a shit. But like that is kind of crazy to me that he was like the first celebrity of it. regardless of what you think about him.
That's gotta be so stressful, man.
Yeah, because no one's there to say, hey.
You have no mentor. You're figuring this shit
like,
out.
Hey, I was a celebrity. Don't do that. No one was there to. He was the big brother. No one was there to tell him not to fuck up. Like, he did all the fuck ups.
Yeah.
For all of us who are gonna be famous one day, like, it's fucking crazy to me.
That's funny. Kind of sad too, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Music's crazy, man.
What do you listen to now?
Joey, like on repeat, like
new, like who's coming up?
I was big on Baby Keem. He's
I don't know that guy.
He's like an indie. He's like I'm 90% sure he's an industry plant.
Really?
He's like Kendrick's cousin. He already has obviously he already has a Kendrick. Dude, his music's fucking good. Orange Soda. I was like listening.
Oh, I have that song downloaded.
Yeah,
I have that song downloaded.
That's him.
Bitch, sit on my face. I
attack that. Yeah, that shit's so hot. Bro.
That is hard. I didn't know that was Kendrick's cousin.
Yeah. So, but then he had like on Black Panther, he had some credits or something on there. Okay. So it's like he's definitely like pulling. But who wouldn't? If you're Kendrick's cousin, like who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying?
I would. It's kind of like what's his face? Was it Boss or not Boss? The guy, Wiz Khalifa's dealer.
I'm not too sure, but I don't dig into that side of rap too much. But yeah, he makes good music. He just had like some questionable stuff, but who wouldn't? It's just like he kind of kept it a secret, but then like someone, I don't know who it was. I think everybody kind of just taped shit together. Where when you're smaller, you probably don't care about your privacy as much. You know what I mean? Because it's just you. So then people tied in like a photo of Baby Keem with like a family member of his, and then like. That was someone Kendrick mentioned in a song or something, and like they tied it together that they're related, kind of like the internet can do anything.
Right. God, that's
and so
crazy.
They have a song together that I listen to. It's fucking good. I don't know if I still have the link because it never came out.
Right.
But it
probably didn't want to be known as Kendrick's cousin.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of want to make it on your own, but at the same time, he's using like, why wouldn't you use Kendrick's ties to make it 10 times easier?
Right.
That doesn't take away from the music, in my opinion, because it's still good.
Right.
But. And he's not necessarily rapping about like grimy shit, like trying to get it out the mud, shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's fine. If
it's also different from Kendrick.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. What do you say? He had a Kendrick feature and it was.
No, he just made music. Orange Soda is what blew up.
Yeah.
I just remember listening to it randomly. I listened to it and I sent it to like a ton of my friends, kind of like you said you did with YBN Corday, and I sent it to people. And they were kind of playing it, and every time we would like do something funny, like the joke was to like play Orange Soda like the first 10 seconds like loud as hell, and it kind of became a meme between us. And then slowly over time, it just blew up.
Yeah.
And then like Baby Keem is like this new bigger rapper. He's not necessarily mainstream yet, but you've heard of Orange Soda, and people have. So the other dude I was listening to that kind of blew up actually was Snot. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He did really good because he got I was just watching a video over this, like he got the Juice WRLD treatment where Lyrical Lemonade, Cole Bennett.
Yeah.
He got 2 videos within like the same month or something.
That's wild.
And so that's huge. He was in like Danny Duncan videos and shit like that. Danny Duncan is in one of his music videos, so they're cool. And I was listening to him like not hella early, but like when he was making a transition from like I feel like he was more of a SoundCloud rapper, and then he started coming up. And Gosha was pretty popular. He like sampled a Minecraft song or something like that. Gosha, Baby What You Need, some shit like that. Dope music video. I was listening to him for a while, but I just like Joey Badass. I've been in a very Joey Badass vibe.
Yeah.
I just like the young Joey Badass too, where he's like him, Capital Steez, that whole Pro Era team. They were kind of like, we're gonna take over the world.
Remember when he freestyled on Molly Percocet? Like, that
that shit was good. But his good fucking freestyle, Troy Ave. You know who Troy Ave, or have you heard of that name?
I don't think so.
Troy Ave. Capital Steez. You know Capital Steez? You know the story about him?
Yeah.
He committed suicide, jumped off a building on like Christmas or the 23rd or something like that.
Right.
And then he tweeted goodbye. He's like, the end. That's what he tweeted.
That's wild.
He said the end, and then people found out he died. He committed suicide or whatever. Like deep shit. His word flow was insane. Like if you think Joey Badass is good, Joey Badass was looking up to Capital Steez.
Really?
So like they were brothers and shit. And so Troy Ave, I forgot what happened. Joey Badass said one thing about Troy Ave, like one line, and then
It was just beef.
Troy Ave's dumb as shit. He made a song called Superman or something like that, or Badass is what it was called. He made a diss track called Badass, and in
I remember Levi telling me about this.
he made a song, or his diss track said, "Your best friend thought he was a superhero, jumped off a building and died," or something like that. And
That's fucked.
bro, Joey Badass went on Sway in the Morning. You know how they do the 5 fingers?
Yeah.
And so he did like 8 fingers of death, basically. He kept going on beats, and on like the second or third song, he just said, "I destroy average rappers, eat them up for breakfast. Being a savage a habit, I destroy average rappers." Like, that shit was cold. He said,
That's
I gave
crazy.
you one verse. You made a whole song. Here's some more verses. Have you working year long. Like, bro, he was just killing
That's
him.
crazy.
He's like, sure, he committed suicide, but he made New York better. You committed career suicide and made New York, or I forget how he said, but he's like, you committed
I'm gonna
career
have to look
suicide.
this up. This is
New
crazy.
York,
I didn't
bro,
know
we'll
about
listen to it.
this.
Bro, he just kills him. He's like, you just don't fuck with that. Like, that's the one part of
Yeah.
Joey where you're like, don't fuck with Joey, like, on
Right,
that shit
yeah.
especially, because he was like,
That's
I'm gonna
his buddy,
give you
too.
everything. Yeah, that was like his best friend, his brother, like,
Yeah.
close as shit, and he just kept killing him. Like, Troy Ave was dead, and then in the next song, or in his album, he goes, Joey Badass is talking about it. He's like, talking about how people have been silent now and ring the alarm, and it's just crazy.
That's
He killed
wild.
Troy Ave, but dude, Joey Badass, his rhyme scheme, especially 1999, that and acid rap, top 2 like mixtapes like, of all time. Especially he's like 16, 17, 18 in that time.
Right.
Capital Steez, that whole pro era team's hungry, and like Pain, that's one of the things you can't fake is that hunger.
Yeah.
Once you obtain something, like, you kind of lose that motive, and they were all just trying to show the world, like, we're taking over. And it had that MF Doom even, like, produced 2 songs on there, Penny Royale and World Domination. The beats on there, the fucking samples, everything on that album just ties together so good. It's so New York and shit like that, and I fuck with it. Just young kids just
That's dope.
doing shit.
I'm gonna have to look into that, dude. Cause I hear the names and shit, and I might remember the 8 fingers or whatever, the 8 fingers of death thing. I might remember, and I don't don't recall it or whatever.
He's like,
but
you want some more? He's like,
That's
you want to
crazy.
keep going, Sway? Like, we could keep going.
That's
Like,
crazy. I'll listen.
everybody
to
in
it.
the booth are like, woo! Like,
That's
they know,
wild.
like, sometimes they have to
wild.
fake it. Like, a rapper's doing good. Dave was like, Joey, just do your shit.
Yeah,
We'll play the
yeah,
beats.
just do
Like,
it. Oh, that's so weird when a rapper's rapping, especially on Sway.
Yeah.
When they're like freestyling and they're like, oh damn, like Sway is like, he goes, oh damn, yeah, like Token. I remember when Token went on there. He freestyled and it was the most like it was like Shia LaBeouf was freestyling. I was like, bro, get this fucking white boy out of like this is awful. Like I've never been a fan of him anyways, but like I was just like I remember just seeing that like you say they fake it and I was like, dude, it is pretty obvious they're faking. Like it was awkward.
yeah, the whole fucking Wolfgang or Odd Future, they fucking mess around all the time.
You like Odd Future? You like all that?
I like this shit. I'm not the biggest Tyler fan anymore. Earl Sweatshirt, I liked his shit.
Yeah, I like them.
Some
I
rap
like their
songs. That
old
was good.
shit.
Yeah, I like some of their
Like
old shit.
when Frank Ocean was doing the shit with him, like you dress fresh out the shower.
Yeah,
that
all that
song.
shit. Like I wasn't the biggest fan of Igor or like
It kind of was a like for us, I guess. It was like to me, it was like a middle school.
It's just so weird how like Tyler changed. Like I think he's probably like he's pretty much still the same person and everything. His music's just different, but that's good. I mean, it keeps it interesting in a way.
He's progressed.
Yeah,
I think he's like when he did the
But
Grinch
it's just so
thing,
weird. It's like how he goes from eating roaches and doing all this shit. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
to doing
weird
what he does
shit.
now.
But I mean, that's also Tyler. That's who he is.
He's a weirdo. Yeah.
And it's
I
so
know
funny.
Yonkers. That was crazy, dude. It's so weird. What is it? I don't know if it's just middle schoolers because I don't talk to middle schoolers, so I don't know. I feel like either it was the time period that we were in. I guess you're 2 grades. Are you 2 grades or 1 grade below me?
I did 19. I graduated 19.
Okay, so you're one grade
year.
below me. Well, I don't know what it just felt like to me. Like in middle school, underground rap was the shit. for me. I don't know why. Underground rap was the fucking shit in
Yeah.
middle school.
Bro, middle school, like high school, Under Pressure, that shit was fucking hard. Logic.
Yeah, you like Logic?
I did.
I'm
not the biggest fan.
Under
Pressure was good.
Yeah, Under Pressure was good. I liked his little
Gang
stuff.
related, all that
Oh,
shit.
yeah, the classic Logic and stuff. I kind of actually
After
liked...
the Incredible True Story was like...
Yeah, I actually kind of liked his one, like, in 2019...
Like the hotline, 1-800 something.
No, I kind of didn't like that one, even though it won an award and shit. But I
can't remember
the one, like the last album. No, you know he's doing shit still, but he's like
making a new name,
Doctor
or
Doom
shit.
or Doctor Destruction. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's like too. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Logic fan. I respect him, but no, he made an album. Like cocaine, Molly, like that. I can't remember what it was called. Like he had a whole fuck rap. I sound like an addict with a semi-automatic. That shit, and then.
I guess he's one of those people. He could try to make a comeback if if people hate him. I don't know.
People hate on Logic a lot, though.
Yeah.
I feel like people hate on Logic a lot, a little bit too much. I don't know. I feel like he gets the. I don't know. There's something about him. I don't know if it's because he's like the nerdy rapper or something, but
just an easy target to pick on.
He is an easy target, right? And he's not aggressive enough to like not fuck for people not to fuck.
I mean,
with
but
him.
it's publicity. At the end of the day, people know his name. So
Yeah,
good.
he is a household name, and he has made a lot. Like he's great. Like, would you call him underground? I'd call him an underground rapper.
Yeah, not necessarily underground. Underground, I look more like SoundCloud, like.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I see underground.
I guess nowadays it'd be SoundCloud, but I feel like back then it wasn't. You know what I mean? I guess. Well, I'm thinking of like when we were in middle school. I feel like SoundCloud wasn't the underground.
Underground. That's where like if you don't really like pass like if you're not doing Spotify number, I think.
Because I thought like Tyler the Creator, like Odd Future to me was and Tech Nine and shit was underground.
That's more just like grungy. I think Tech Nine could be underground in a way, but I mean he's just too popular.
Really? I think he's like the king of the underground. I think he's not underground because he's so underground. That's how I feel about Tech Nine.
Yeah, there are people like that. Like MF Doom, that's underground.
Yeah, he's so for
like,
sure.
In a way,
he's so
like,
underground. He's not underground. Everyone knows him. You know.
Yeah, like everyone knows him. Like Doja Cat was like underground rapper or something, shit like that.
Yeah,
and then she popped off or something. Like I don't know, but that's the thing. That's weird.
Blueface. He was underground.
Like people will just pop off like that, and then that's when you come in. Like, is this person an industry plant? Like, how the fuck did they get here? And there's like a lot of grimy shit that goes on.
Right.
And that's just how business is. You know, music deals.
Dick and getting deals.
And then people like they forget about people. Like there's a whole channel on this shit, but
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
I fuck with Doja Cat, man. I love Doja Cat, dude. She gets me so horny. She describes exactly what she wants to do to me, and I love it. Like same with Saweetie or whatever her name is. Her voice. Saudi. Is it Saudi or Saweetie?
I forget. There's like so many.
So many, but female rappers are killing the game, as in like lit stuff. Like all the dudes are actually the ones emotional. Like they're all like, you know, they're making the fucking like cry baby emotional stuff, and women are like, he gonna eat my pussy in. I'm gonna get some money in.
You should start mixing rap like that, man.
Bro, I don't know, but yeah, I need to. Like she gonna eat my asshole.
Yeah.
And we gonna get the gas pedal. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like, chicks are kind of killing the fucking like the like lit game now.
Yeah.
Like the fucking. Not saying
Young
I
Maul
always like it.
Set that up like Young Maul kind of. I don't listen to much of her, but when she was rapping, like she had some words like.
She did. I don't like Cardi B that much,
Nah,
mainly because I don't like her as a person.
I just need
the
energy.
I just want to punch her. She needs to get fucking rocked.
Like the people who like listen to her like usually are annoying as
Oh,
hell.
there's the hot Cheeto eating bitches in the middle of the fucking like they're the loud like.
I know. I'm like
she just sounds loud. Like remember when she's like, "How do I sound loud?" I was like, "Dude, you look loud." Like. There's just something, and she's always trying to like fucking rant on Instagram.
Yeah,
I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Like there's bigger, like don't you got something to do? Like,
no, they don't. They're rich. They don't have anything
to do.
That's
but like,
why.
there's people who act like her who don't like who aren't as successful as her, and that's the shit. That I'm like, bro.
Well, she represents that, don't you think? She represents that, like, because like Nicki annoyed me when I was a kid, but I still respect Nicki, and she's just kind of like. she's just a rapper, right?
Yeah, and then when people were trying to compare her and like Cardi B and shit, I was like, well, first off, like Nicki's been in the game like way longer, so of course she isn't going to get the views that Cardi's getting because she's not in her prime like that.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, kind of gives them energy, which is cool, I guess.
I like Megan Thee Stallion. She's cool. She's hot. I'd fuck the shit out of her.
Is that how you kind of rate your?
That's kind of how I rate them because I think Cardi B's ugly as fuck. I don't know. She looks like a fucking like snail. I don't know. Yeah. She just doesn't look. Not even. But no, I actually go on rap like because Cardi is a really good rapper. Like I think she is good. Like, but just I think it's her as a person makes me not want to fuck with her. Like the ranting, her and fucking Offset, they do that fucking ranting bullshit. And Offset didn't start doing that. Offset didn't start doing that until he got with her. I feel like he was normal, and then she got all toxic. I feel bad for him.
Am I gonna just deal with that all day?
Dude,
bro. I'm like, be quiet for a second, man. But he's free or something. Are they together? No.
Yeah, they're back together. They break up. Dude, yeah, he probably... Dude, I bet he go... Like, every time I see them together, he's just, like, miserable. He looks fucking miserable. He looks trapped. Like, I could just see... And this is gonna sound fucked up. I could just see a door shut, and then you just hear... Boom! He's fucking done. He's like, fuck this. And she would still not shut up. She'd be like, you got fucking blood all over the fucking floor? I don't know. Whatever. He
makes fun of her and shit for, like, the shit she raps about. Yeah, you don't do none of that, cooking clean and shit like that.
Yeah, he said liar. Like, she was cooking and cleaning, he goes liar.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that shit's set up, though.
It's
like,
funny.
Like, it is funny. Like, I will say the video of her daughter coming over, her daughter came over when she was, like, listening to WAP, and her daughter's dancing, and then she turned it off. She's like, nope. Stop it.
Yeah, that's fake.
Yeah, that was like clearly fake.
I could, without watching, I could tell it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny though. She was like, "Stop!" But I was like,
"You gotta keep the money going in, man. You gotta keep people listening to music."
But then she ranted about it on like, "I'm not a bad parent." I'm like, dude, shut the like you totally made that fucking video.
Yeah.
You know, at least Megan Thee Stallion, like at least she took a bullet. You know, she's big broad. She could take a bullet from Tory Lanez.
She's huge. Like not like in a bad way. Like she's fucking
big. She's a stallion. Like it fits her name.
I know. Like I think that's why it's called
yeah.
Fucking Derrick Henry, dude.
Yeah, what is it? Like, who can handle me? Bitch, the fucking Steelers.
Yeah.
Like, they need a line to go try out.
Cowboy shit.
Remember when she was making out with, like, G-Eazy?
Yeah, I remember.
And then everyone was, like, making memes of, like, a fucking, like, Doberman and then, like, or it was, like, a Great Dane and, like, a little dog, like, humping it.
That's funny as hell.
That's funny. Speaking of white rappers, do you like Jack Harlow?
He's funny as shit, dude.
Yeah,
he is so
fuck with
funny. Him. Like I haven't listened to too much of his music, but the music I have listened to, like I listened to his album. It was cool. Like I'm not saying like he's the greatest or anything. He kind of get like his music, I guess, kind of gives me like Big Sean vibe in a way where it's like it's cool, but it's not over the top. Like there's some good songs sprinkled around.
Yeah, I agree on that with his album. So with me, I was hyped when he blew up because. My buddy showed me him. Timmons, Caden Timmons, I don't know if you know him. Yeah.
I don't know him, but...
Yeah, he showed me. He's like, dude, listen to this. I didn't know he was white, and I was like, oh, this is a white boy? And we were listening to it.
Yeah, that's what a ton of people said.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, the dude who... what's his poppin' song? What's poppin'?
Yeah.
He's like, he's white?
Yeah. It's like he's white. Funny. But I hated that song because I listened to his mixtapes and shit before he blew up, and I kept telling people, I was like, dude... Because I usually don't like white rap unless it's Eminem. Because it's Eminem. You don't even really put him in that. Well, I don't put him in that category. But other than that, I don't really like white rappers. But like him, I was like, dude, this could be like the new white boy. Like he's gonna blow the fuck up.
Funny as shit.
And then when What's Poppin' came out, when he blew up, I was like, fuck, finally. But I kind of hate this song because it's like it didn't sound like him. Like it sounded.
But
too
it was
mainstream.
enough to get him
going.
That's what you had to do. Like. Joey Badass had to do the same shit because it's so hard to just become like
Devastated. What blew
Joey
Devastated?
There's like a ton. Well, not necessarily like anything to the level necessarily like as
because he had like an album before that.
And so it's like because he had 1999, he had Badass Before the Money, and then
I have listened to 1999. Yes, okay. Now I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a mixtape though.
Yeah. But it's on like Apple and shit.
And then he just dropped like an EP or something, like a 3-thing project.
Is it good?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like older route. He dropped something for his birthday the other week, and that was dope. But he like those people who are like lyrically good, or just like not necessarily like because the way the media works is like you have to fit a certain profile for the music to blow up. So you just have to make those mainstream songs sometimes, you know.
Right.
And just fuck it, and then you get that attention, and then you're able to continue speaking your message. You know. And the people like it just gives you more eyes, and then the people who listen to your other shit are like, oh, I fuck with this. Will then like proceed to listen.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I didn't like his album. I liked his album. It was cool.
Jack Harlow.
Yeah, I liked his album, but I had like it's not. I think he's doing his thing, and I still liked it. It was really chill. I just can't wait to see what he does next. Yeah, I can't wait to see what he does next. I didn't expect too much of it because I was like,
he's
it's his
18 or 19,
freshman album.
Right?
Yeah, he's like our age, dude.
That makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Fuck, these people are making so much money. They're
at
rapping.
that age. I
know. And I'm here like. On the Shirley show, it's a great place to be.
Fuck yeah! Oh, I like that.
You like
a little quick. Well, dude, he did have a cool line. He's like, "I did exactly what I want to do. I became a millionaire at 22." I was like, "Woo, that's badass."
That's crazy.
And he got Lil Wayne on the fucking remix. Like that's crazy. Like you're that young and like.
What's poppin'?
Yeah, that's poppin'. I think
that shit's catchy as hell.
It is catchy. It's still like when it comes on, I still like it.
Have you seen his Instagram shit?
Yeah, he's all fucking
funny.
Yeah, he's just funny as fuck.
He posted one dude who got
he just looks funny. He's a curly-headed fuck.
And he knows that too, so he
plays with it. Yeah.
That's good though.
He's a
he
funny
knows he's a white rapper in the
in the industry like you it's almost like you're going to get looked at as corny anyway, so you got to play with it. You got to have like to prove you're not corny, but like also you got to play with it, you know. M did the same thing, like, you know. I don't think Mac
wasn't necessarily like, I don't know. He was just having fun with it.
Yeah, he just seemed more like a stoner.
Left the rap scene in a way.
Yeah, he just kind of I don't want to say fell off, you know, R.I.P. and all, but I just think he kind of just like left it alone for a while. It seemed like he had his own problems.
But he was like, yeah, he had no issues, but that like he was more carefree, so it wasn't like he wasn't battling with anyone. He was just like there to have a good time.
Right.
So he wasn't like trying to be like number one. All his shit is so good, man.
It is. Well, I meant he had his own problems,
Yeah.
like later in life, like his drug addiction and shit like that. I think he was battling that. I think that got him away.
Yeah,
from
but he wasn't like
rapping a little
necessarily like competing with anybody, which like keeps him.
He's
away
in his own
from
lane. Yeah.
Which, like, people are like, fucking Donald Trump. That shit's so good.
Yeah.
All that.
He is
Nike's
very
on my
artistic.
feet, just, yeah.
His albums are artistic.
Shit.
I didn't like I liked
Good
his stuff.
AM was good.
That's one of my favorite albums by him. This is shit
that
that make white people mad. That shit was funny.
You listen to Denzel?
I love Denzel, dude.
Yeah,
I saw him in concert and it was wild, bro.
Which concert?
The Suicide Boys concert.
Okay.
Did you go to that one?
No, I did not.
Dude, it was.
That's a good concert for him to be in, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Dude, yeah, it was amazing, bro. Like I went to this thing. And I tripped on acid the night before.
That's what you were saying. That's the one outside, right?
Yeah, it was outside. We jumped over the fence and went to the pit. I wanted to during Denzel Curry, but the lights were on, and I took a piss, and
You don't want to get out before the main show.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't. I would have jumped if the lights went out, and I would have jumped beforehand, but I didn't. I was doing something, so. But when the lights went out, I jumped and went to dudes because I like Suicide Boys, but I'm not like I don't like listen to them in my car. Like every now and then I will. And before that, I didn't really listen to them. Dude, I was like a fangirl there.
Blowing up because of TikTok, fucking crazy. Dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, they are hard. Like, and dude, they're like doing acid and doing like oxys on stage and like go. I'm like, dude, these guys are crazy, bro. Like. It was a fucking experience, man.
Funny, man.
Especially because I was doing acid the night before, so I was. I felt like, dude. I looked at myself. I had my long hair and I had like a tank top. I was like, who am I? Like, I was like a mess, like just fucking jamming out. It was a wild experience, dude. It was cool. It was. I would definitely. I wish concerts. We talked about that last time, but I wish concerts would come out.
I hope they're back soon, dude.
I don't think it's gonna be a thing for a while, man. I wonder, when do you think this stuff's going to get back to normal? Do you think we ever will? Or I think there'll be certain things that will stay.
I think they will. I think people will just get tired enough where you already see that in like Texas and shit.
Yeah, you're right. I think people are going to eventually be like, all right. Like,
give it a year or two.
Yeah, what are we going to do?
2 weeks. I mean, we got baited so hard, dude.
We really
2 weeks,
did.
bet. Say less.
Right. Bullshit.
Hey.
Well, that's the thing. No one's gonna stay inside. Do you think every other country really stayed inside? That's what everyone always is like.
Like a good amount of people.
You think
Not
so?
every country, but like the places that did lockdowns, they did it correctly. Where it's like you get fined if you leave. You can't have a lockdown and not have a penalty.
Right. Well, it's like.
It's like
America's kind of like, fuck no, this is America.
Well, because we had the lockdown, and my mom, she works at Home Depot. Home Depot, Lowe's was the busiest it had ever been because people are home. So this is when we were like locked in our houses, like when we weren't supposed, like people weren't working and shit, other than what is it, like the needed people. And so my mom, she's like, bro, everybody was just coming in like for home renovation shit. Because one, you're in home, so you're like, oh, that ceiling looks a little like the paint's coming off.
Yeah,
so
so
like,
you fix it.
So everybody's going there. So it like wasn't as effective because people are still leaving the house. The way to make it effective would be you have to like lock people in. And that's what I kind of got pissed about, is because I feel like we kind of half-assed it in a way. It's like either we go through it, or like if you're going to lock us up for 2 weeks, like lock us up for 2 weeks. Like fully closed, but then it's like, how do you do that? Because then you still need medical staff to go out, so you still have some staff going out. But
then how the other countries do it, you know what I mean?
I don't know that much about it, but it's just like I felt like we half-assed it in a way where it's like.
I think we did, definitely.
But like all of it was new to people too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no one was like, okay, what do we do? Like, do we go out? Do we not?
And then it's
what if we
way
get pulled
easier
over?
to tell people like, oh, you can't leave the house than actually like dealing with the problems. Because then if you can't leave the house, you can't make money. So then you have to come up with stimulus, and we've seen how that goes.
Yeah, I don't know about your job, but my job gave me a paper to show cops. Because we thought, we didn't know what to expect. We were like, oh, we're going to get pulled over driving.
Yeah, I heard that same fear. But I was just mowing, so it was like, it was deemed essential. Right.
But I was like, fuck, what's going to happen? And they gave us it. And like, I was like, I kept it. I was like, hope a cop doesn't pull me over. I mean, and it was pretty empty for a while.
Bro, it was so nice. I was fucking $2. Like, how cheap was gas? Like, $1.50?
Oh, it was dude, it was crazy.
I was driving my truck, nobody to worry about with a trailer. It's so stress-free. Fucking driving anywhere I want, park anywhere I want. It was crazy, dude. I remember.
Crept up on us. Do you think it's that serious?
As in what?
As like we've made it. Like, do you think? Like, I think if they would have went martial law and like stay the fuck inside, I don't know how we would have done that. This virus we probably would have been over with, right?
Yeah, but yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know if we could do that anymore. I think it's almost kind of like.
Yeah,
it's not going anywhere.
Is that impeding my freedom and shit? Like, you have people who think that way. It's just.
Well, it's not even that. It's just I feel like it's not going. Like the virus, it's a virus.
Oh, now
it's not
as you're
going
saying
anywhere.
now.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying. Well, yeah. My bad. So back then, I thought, okay, I definitely would say that's what we should have done. We should have been strict about it, not half-assed.
Now
like
I think
you
it's
said.
just too late. We like already have the vaccine. If you get it, then you get it, and then you kind of just wait it out. But now I think it's just too late. Like the issue is, if you lock everybody inside, you're close to everybody, which is the easiest way to get it is being locked in with people in a close vicinity. Right. So if you have people who like live with like 8 people or something like that in a house, and one of them has it, now all of those people are most likely going to get it because they're forced to be in the same room. And if you're living with people, you're probably going to spend time with those people. And if your only place you can spend time with people is at like the kitchen table or whatever, you know, then you're going to be like a lot closer to people. And stuff like that. So that's the hard part is like if you lock people in, then they're confined to this space and they're going to be closer to each other, and if one of them has it, then the whole kind of household's fucked.
Right. Well, see, that's what I'm kind of like thinking is like also it's like you said, yeah, you're too far along. It's like you can't really do it anymore. But like it's not really like it's not gonna fall off the face of the earth. It's still gonna be here.
Yeah, I mean, you still have to have realistic expectations. Like, it's here, we can just manage it better. And that's what you want.
Adapt to
it's like
it,
the flu. Like, you can't just get rid of the flu because the flu mutates and it changes.
And it's gonna be like that forever.
Yeah. You just get better at controlling it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you have to hope for, is like that it's not as deadly. Which, I mean,
do you think we should have
yeah,
it isn't. But do you think we should have like now? Do you think we should just open shit back up and say fuck it?
In a way, I mean, I think everything here at least is pretty open, so I haven't really been affected by it.
Same, yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree.
I think the curfew shit is stupid. We don't have that, but I'm like, I don't understand.
Those places, the places that do that are dumb. Like what? California is fucked now.
Yeah, I'm like, what? but that's also because
there's no curve. It's just fucking. You're just. It's not.
There's no scientific proof that after 10 p.m. people are getting
It's
more.
just
If there's scientific proof and it's showing, like,
then
I don't have a problem like wearing a mask when it's like in a public space. Like I understand like
it's annoying, but
it's like okay, it's just a fucking mask. And low key in the winter, this shit's warm as fuck.
Dude, it's nice.
It's
nice, dude.
Like,
I love having it. I'm like, bro, this wind sucks.
Yeah,
dude. I was thinking that the other day. I was like, this wind is ass.
Yeah, it's like it's the least thing I could do. Fuck it. Like I'll put on a mask. Like,
do you think we should be mandatory wearing masks?
Yeah, it's just such a small issue. Like whether it works or not.
Right.
It's
just
like
whatever.
one of those things. At least for me, like I don't really see it as like, oh, they're impeding on my rights. Like they're like.
No, I don't.
You know, I think
I'm
people
not
just
like
want to make it bigger, but I'm like, fuck it. Like it's just a mask at the end of the day.
Well, but like if tomorrow they say, because I'm the exact same way. I'm like, I don't like if I have to wear one. If I don't, I won't. If I do,
you're a sheep.
Yeah, you're a sheep. Mustard. All my like far right conservative like fucking. I'm like, dude, it's just a mask, bro. Just wear it. Fucking be generous. Don't be an asshole. But like, then there's the people who have like the mask as their profile picture. Like, I wear a mask at all times because I like watching my girlfriend have sex with other men because you know what I mean?
I'm wearing this because it's cold outside.
Well, but they make it like, you know what I mean? They put it as a political statement.
Yeah.
Like they put their
That's
fucking.
like where it's like, oh, it's political now.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I just thought we
everything
wore a
just
mask.
has to be about it. Like race, political. Like there has to be some motive behind it.
There always has to be something behind it. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like if like tomorrow if they said, hey, we don't have to wear masks anymore, would you just be like whatever? Or would you still wear your mask?
I mean, because like no one's stopping me. Like no one's forcing me to wear one now.
Well, I'm saying when you go into restaurants, like now if they uplifted it on restaurants.
Like you can go into a restaurant, I bet, without a mask. Because like the thing that's funny to me is like restaurants are still open. You can go in with. Like you have to wear a mask and then you just take it off when you sit down.
Take it off, you sit down. Yeah,
there is no difference. Like that is stupid to me because like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because when I go into restaurants, I mean, I always put it on. If I forget it, honestly, I'm like, I just hurry up and go sit down.
Do one of these?
I do one of these. Yeah, I do one of these. Yeah.
That's how I know.
Someone shit their pants.
But yeah, I mean, I'll wear the mask just because.
But like if restaurants said like, hey, you don't have to wear one, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably still wear one through.
Really?
Not like, but I'm not one of those people where it's like, why the fuck are you wearing your mask?
Right.
Put your fucking mask on. Like you're getting closer to the person who
Yeah.
doesn't have the mask. It's
like you're ruining the purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like where are you supposed to stay? Like I'm sorry that grandma is just fucking doing her grocery shop. Like you don't have to get up in her face and shit. But like that shit's funny to me. Where it's like the people who like want to wear the mask and then it's always funny when people pull their mask
down.
in.
Hey. No. Wear a mask. Did you sneeze with your mask off? Like, dude, but that's the same people that put on their Facebook profile them wearing a mask. Like, you should do this.
Wear a mask, it's safe, and then they're going to like bachelor parties.
Yeah,
and,
I'm like, what the, dude? I partied with these chicks in Mexico. They're like, you should always wear a mask.
And they're in the club.
I was like, we were just in a cesspool of COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was partying with just a group of people. And these
all
girls that
over
were
the states, everywhere.
Right. Well, these girls that were just around us were talking, and they're like, "We were bubble. We should wear masks." I was like, "Dude, you just fucking were like
a little late,
twerking on guys in there and shit, and now you're sneezing. Like, what? That's a cesspool."
And see, that's what people were mad about was like all the mayors who were like saying, "Hey."
Yeah, that is bullshit to me. I think that's bullshit.
And they were having gatherings and like going out on stage. Like, how the fuck are you gonna tell me to wear a mask?
Right.
And then you're out here having dinner with like a ton of people and like having Thanksgiving when you're like, oh, don't do this and this and like.
Right. Well, that is the thing where it's like, okay, that is when it becomes a power thing, not when
like does this shit even work? Or are you just telling us to do this?
Right. That's when it becomes a power thing, not when like I'm just wearing a mask because I'm being generous. I'm not gonna put it as my profile pic. I'm just wearing a mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just being
My thing
generous.
is like, put it on my
right. And I'm just not gonna do this. But versus like that happening, like, dude, you just told us like that's not a power thing, but that thing, that's a power thing.
Yeah.
Like, you just told us this, but yet you're like, what, does it not apply to you? Do you have the antibodies? Is what you're trying to like? What are you trying to
you're
say?
You're rich and
like, what the fuck, dude?
That's what a lot of people don't realize is like, dude, half the politicians, they're fucking rich. So it's like
they probably already have some fucking crazy shit. Like Trump kicked that shit in a day.
Yeah, but I mean, he was trying like stuff like that. I mean,
you think he faked it?
No, I don't think he would fake it because it would ruin his image.
Yeah, it would ruin his image.
Because it's like, this shit's real. Told you, dumbass.
I
Like,
was telling some people that I was like, I feel like that shit would ruin his image because that's his whole image. Is like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So it's like it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But like they showed him like on a ventilator, almost dying or whatever. Or no, he was like, going like that.
But
and
he's
then the
also
next
fat
day.
as hell. Like,
But this is what I'm saying. Omar.
he's
Like,
obese.
This is what I'm saying. He is obese. He probably eats French fries for breakfast. He's fat. He's literally old. He's fat. He is the fucking prime example of someone who dies of COVID, and he kicked that shit in a day because he has money.
But they were, yeah.
Well,
and he's the
because
president. You can't have the president die. You know how much shit.
That's what I'm saying. He got
you
something
have to keep
that
him
we
alive.
don't.
It's a clone. No.
No. But that's what I'm saying is he got something that we
correct,
didn't have. You know what I mean?
It's too expensive. It's just.
Yeah, I'm saying
which money at the end of the
are-
day is like fucking fake, especially after they printed how much like fucking money machine go brrr, or whatever. You see those memes like that.
Yeah.
Jerome Powell just printing money.
Printing more money.
Like, and
bad.
that's the sad part is like fuck, all the money I have is just like worthless at the end of the day because it's like there's no value because like
wild.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's
No,
just
I
a
know what
fucking
you
number.
mean.
But at the end of the day, it does have value because if I'm saying it doesn't have value, I'm not just gonna give you all my money. You know what I'm saying? So it still has value.
It doesn't matter.
It
Here
doesn't-
you go.
Yeah.
I know people like that. They'll like.
But it's just tough to give value to money because it's like at the end of the day, it's just like whatever we give it. So
Yeah.
it's a little scary, but
That's why I like looking at it as a tool. Like you know what I mean? Because if you don't, then you're just gonna look at it. I feel like you'll not necessarily go crazy at it. It depends on who you are, right? But I don't know. If you don't look at it as a tool, I feel like you won't use it correctly.
Yeah.
For me though. That's just for me. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like he got like it's expensive, and all these politicians are probably getting something that we don't have. Yeah, way better, maybe even
they
better
can pay
vaccines.
for it and shit like that. So.
Right. Yeah, they're all getting the fucking vaccine. I know. I saw Joe Biden getting it. He's like getting the vaccine. He's like halfway dead already. Like, we're getting this vaccine, and it's gonna be great.
If it works, that's good, man. I don't have an issue.
I would rather have the vaccine than have to do
we
more
can
of
start
this.
doing our shit.
Yeah.
We get back to normal. Fuck you, man.
Well, that's what I don't understand about like people who are super conservative. They were like, I don't trust this vaccine. I was like, okay, well, I get it. It just came out, but would you rather have a vaccine and get back to normal, or would you rather like not get back to normal?
Yeah, you were complaining about not going back to normal.
Exactly. It's like now you're just complaining about you're bitching a bitch.
It's just the issue with like trusting people and like shit like that.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's funny because I bring it up to people like that, and they're like, "Ooh," they stop in their tracks. I'm like, you were complaining about that, but now that we have a vaccine, logically, like more people are gonna get it. It's gonna be better, you know. Now, if people's dicks start falling off, then yeah, like it's different.
I might have the biggest one now. You know?
Yeah, you might. Like honestly, if I find out that vaccine makes your dick bigger, I'm gonna get like 5 of those bitches.
He's like, sir.
Be like, I don't want to get sick. I will pay for all of these for 5 vaccines. That's wild. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. You just gotta wear a mask, right?
Yeah.
And I guess the social distancing and then less concerts, I guess. You know, oh, sorry, I'm itching. You know what I mean? You can get back.
No,
Sorry.
I think it's pretty chill. As long as, I don't know. The only people who get it just like people in like college dorms because everybody's coming in from different states and like bars and shit. Like.
Yeah, but
like,
STDs were already flying around like crazy over there, so you know.
Well, it's just crazy to think of, like we forced all of this to happen so like. 8 months, we came up with a vaccine. I know people would want it quicker, or maybe 10 months. I forget how long we've been in this shit, but like they ramp it up because the people are like hurting. Like the people who make money, like they're hurting, so they want that shit to go faster, so people can have money again. So like you know what I'm saying?
Put
like
into the economy to go more.
But it's kind of funny at the same time. Like you start thinking like, oh, like could we do this with like homelessness and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Like we put our like. Because this took a lot of effort from people, so it's like people. I don't know. It's kind of tough to say because obviously it's hard to solve homelessness, but just all the energy was in this one place, and it's kind of crazy how much we can come up with in such a short. I know it feels long, but I mean, coming up with a virus, if it does work, if it does everything they say it's going to do,
made you hustle. It's like, oh, we got to figure this shit out. It's fucking up the economy.
And how much other shit can they do?
Yeah. Do you think universal income would be a good idea or no?
It's tough because then you get in the issue with like I was working for all my shit and now people can get rewarded for nothing, but then at the same time then you get that other outlook where it's like that's good in a way because some people are like struggling with shit.
Right.
So then it's just tough to say. I think it's too early to do that. If
so
we
too.
go autonomous, where it's like, I just don't see the time where it ends up happening because we are consistently working. If people are like, well, robots are going to take over our jobs, well then let's work to make the next robot that builds the robots.
Right.
But then like I feel like there's always something to build because then if you build a robot that builds a robot, then you can build the robot that builds the robot.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
some shit like that. And then like robots are gonna go, so then everybody's just gonna become fucking IT technician type shit. Like you're fixing robots or some shit.
I feel like and maybe it's kind of already with like tax brackets and shit. Like it's maybe kind of already going on, but like I feel like if anything, it's more of like instead of universal income, like give back. Like if you give small businesses tax breaks, or if you give more money to small businesses or shitty, like crappier communities. If you pour, like if we invested our money into,
but then you get into the issue, like what you're saying there, and like torn down neighborhoods and shit like that. Then you get into gentrification, where you're like, oh, they're making our neighborhoods nicer. What happens when neighborhoods get nicer? The prices go up.
Right.
Because you have a better lifestyle.
Right.
And then the people can't pay for that shit.
Yeah, I guess you're
But then you're also saying the contradiction is like, do people who make less deserve less?
Right. Well, I guess,
you know
I get what you mean.
So that's the tough pill to swallow because it's like, if people have money, you can go buy a house somewhere like cheap, and the house can be torn down, like KC Mo, like place where it's like a little less, and you see it happening. And it's like a business person like trying to make his money, so he'll grab a house, $40,000, put into 80,000, whatever he puts in. He makes a super nice house, but then you have 10 people doing that, and a whole street will get wiped out, and the people living there can't afford that anymore.
Right.
Because then you